So what's going on, everybody? John out here with you. It is Saturday, May 21st. How's everybody doing out there today? Getting a chance to get back on the hardwood here after covering a lot of the Stanley Cup semis. This is a conference final. This is the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. They're going to be playing in TD Garden in Boston here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see which way this game goes. Again, the public is leaning heavily toward Boston being at home today. But the of note lines is what you should remember here for the starting lineup. So again, the Miami Heat 53-29 in the Eastern Conference. Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, and Bam Adebayo will be in the starting lineup. So the return of Kyle Lowry, the return of PJ Tucker. They said they're good to go tonight. Again, there is no Maynots as far as the RotoWire starting lineups that are confirmed. And on the other side for the Boston Celtics, it sounds like this: Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Daniel Tice, and Al Horford. Your bench will probably sound like this. For the Miami Heat, it's going to be Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Tyler Hero, Victor Oladipo, Haywood Highsmith, Omer Yurtseven, and Duncan Robinson. And for the Celtics, likely Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, Aaron Nesmith, Derek White, Luke Cornett, Juwan Morgan, and Nick Stauskas. Again, for the Celtics, it's going to be no Robert Williams III and no Sam Hauser tonight as far as everything else getting going on that side of things. So once we get underway, we'll get the complete game story and everything else followed at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. I'm going to get my partner in crime, Nick Edwards, here when he joins up to do some of the color stuff. I give him a much easier assignment as far as, he was messing around doing some hockey stuff with me. And now basketball, he knows all about basketball on that side. So we can cover that one out once he hops on here. I'm going to continue getting set up, and then we will be getting ready for game time. We're going to go over two in particular, game one and game two, to get you set up in a series reset. Okay, so we got stuff set up in the Discord. It's set up on the YouTube side. So once we get together here For game time, I will be your play-by-play host. I should be joined by Nick Edwards here momentarily, whether he's going to start by game time or second quarter or whatever else. But I'm going to be here all the way through per usual, and we're going to have our game story. I'll put that in the link in the comments section. So right now, as we've said, we've gone in through the starting lineups and everything else. Once we officially get into game time, I will get all that officially to you as well once more. So in game one, in Miami and FTX, it was all Miami, 118-107. Jimmy Butler was 12 for 19. He was 17 of 18 from the free throw line, 41 points, 4 steals, 3 blocks, and a plus 25. Gabe Vincent, also excellent in the start, 17 points, 3 blocks, plus 23. Tyler Hero, 7 for 15, 18 points, 8 rebounds. It was a 39-14 edge in the third quarter for Miami to be able to get to the spot where they could pretty much take game one. For Boston, it was Jason Tatum, 29 points, 2 of 9 from deep, 4 steals, 7 turnovers. He was a -8. Jaylen Brown was 24 and 10 in game one with a double-double, 4 of 8 from 3, 6 for 10 from the line, and a -10. Peyton Pritchard had 18 points. And then Boston came back and completely dominated game two. It was 127-102. They owned the first half. 70-45 lead in game two. Marcus Smart was brilliant, although he did shoot in mass. It was 24 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, and a plus 31. Tatum, 27 points, Brown, 24. So right now it's Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Max Strus, again, PJ Tucker, and Bam Adebayo, the same lineups presented by RotoWire on that side of things. And again, on the ESPN side, I'm not sure why they do it all out of order there, but it's Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Daniel Tice, and Al Horford there for the Celtics. So as we talk about a little bit in game two as well, Grant Williams, 32 minutes of action, 5 of 7 shooting, 2 of 2 from deep, 19 points, plus 17. Peyton Pritchard had 10 for a plus 39. So it was a big-time game for the Boston Celtics. Look, they did what they had to do on the road in FTX in Miami. They split it. Now they get a chance to maybe take 2 here and then pretty much put the pressure on the Miami Heat. But it's really been the Jimmy Butler experience in throughout this series right now. We're going to continue to see if it remains the same right now. So packed TD Garden in Boston. Again, so my partner comes in here. He's going to join this stuff on the onrush. Hey, Patrick, I appreciate you, man. So I'm going to have him do some color. He knows a lot more basketball stuff. I had him trial by fire with some of the hockey stuff the other day. So we'll see how this one goes when he does pop in. I'll add him in. So let's get set for the starting tip here for Game 3. It is 1-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals here in between the Boston Celtics are at home against the Miami Heat. So the Celtics right now are going to be going right to left across the timeline. This is Al Horford with Tice. Marcus Smart has on the left wing. He gives this one to Tatum. Shot clock is already down to 5 as it's at the Leprechaun logo. Tatum trying to get inside. Tries to float off glass and rebounded there by Kyle Lowry again. He's making a Game 3 return. Had not played, not in the first 2. Strus sets him up for 3 from the right wing corner, and he knocks it down 3-0. Miami is on the board first. They're 2-3 on the road, 7-1 at FTX, and that only loss was because of the Boston Celtics just the other day. Brown for Tice, dump inside to Horford, but all kinds of traffic is stolen. And now Lowry gets this left to right to Bam Adebayo as they play catch. Now Lowry has him in the right wing. He thought about the three against Daniel Tice. He's going to back off now and still hold this thing. And he's going to throw it away. So it is a turnover here on the Miami Heat. Again, Boston trying to go for their third possession here. Wasn't really anything going on for Boston here early. But again, it's 10:55 left to go in the first quarter. Kyle Lowry missed 8 games in the playoffs. Remember, the Heat were 7-1. You thought maybe at the beginning of the season he was more of a luxury coming over from the Raptors and things like that. Step back there for Brown at the top of the key, way off, and rebounded there by Butler. Butler's going to throw this one ahead to Adebayo across the timeline. Crisscross over Horford, goes right to the lane and lays it in. Bam, Adebayo makes it 5-0 Miami as they have the early lead right now, and the Celtics really haven't got anything going. This is Smart now to Tice. Strus is on him toward the top of the key, now gives to Horford. Switch by Bam. Now this goes to Tatum. Cross-court pass almost out of bounds there, picked up by Tice. Now Jaylen Brown down to 4 seconds left to shoot. Has to float it from 18. What a tough shot. But Brown knocked it down. It is now 5-2 Miami with the edge. Lowry setting up the signals here as he slowly crosses the timeline left to right. Miami in the black and red and white piping, and the Boston Celtics in the classic white at home. Horford and Tice, he moves it around, gives it to Jimmy Butler. Goes back to PJ Tucker. And he hits the three just as the shot clock expires from the left corner wing, and now it's 8-2. Miami is 3 for 3 shooting. Boston is 1 for 3. Brown trying to use that hand to get off into the middle of the paint. Free throw line extended. Pass across the baseline from Tice to Horford, and Horford had the red carpet laid out as he got it right in. Butler might have an easy basket. He's going to at least draw the foul, and he's going to get the and one anyway. So it looked like he had an easy one there. The contact came late. Butler got smacked right across the top of the head. He finished it anyway. So he's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity. It's 10-4 now. And it's going to be an early timeout for the Boston Celtics and Ime Udoka. So when we come back in from the first quarter break here early, Butler's going to be going to the line for an and one, trying to make it 11-4. Stay tuned. So again, if my buddy Nick hops in here, he can take some of the color stuff throughout that time. No big deal on that side. I'm just going to cover the play-by-play per usual. As far as next week is considered for everyone, I try to get a hold of Cooper Hopkins from more Battle of Alberta. That could either be Tuesday or Thursday. I got to spend some time with the fiance tomorrow, so I will not be around for Sunday, but it'll probably be, let's see, Game 4 or Game 5 coverage of that series between Calgary and Edmonton. And then I might try to pick up an assignment on Monday. The one that is going to be maybe hard to get to, which is unfortunate, is the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes, because that's on the same day as the Oilers and the Calgary Flames. So if I get a chance to do the color on that sub Cooper, I'm going to obviously take that one. So maybe that might not be one of the series I get to. Hopefully that can change if the series goes a little longer right now. But it's 2-0 Carolina in that instance. And the only other game to keep you abreast of as far as hockey is Game 3 between Colorado and St. Louis. That one is tied at 1 with 7 minutes left. Let me see if I can pull up that box score really quick while we're in a commercial. So Logan O'Connor on the fourth line. He got the goal at 10:57, which was the latest one to get it at 1. Assist by Josh Manson and Darren Helm. Josh Manson over the last, especially in this series, has been excellent. And Colton Parayko scored the first goal of the game at the 3:55 mark, assisted by the captain, Ryan O'Reilly. Your shots on that end are 11-5 in favor of the Enterprise Center crowd, the Blue Notes, St. Louis Blues. So this could be a big one here. For everyone that was saying Colorado, and I'm probably one of those too, will be thinking to get a date in the Western Conference Finals, although we don't know in an instance if it's going to be Edmonton or Calgary at this point. St. Louis, they can throw a wrench in this because Jordan Binnington has been absolutely excellent throughout that series. So I'll keep you abreast of that score as it goes along. But right now we are in a commercial with 9:18 left to go in the first. Miami is early up 10-4, and it's a balanced score sheet. It's 3 for Tucker, it's 3 for Strus, and Jimmy Butler is about to get an M1 right now with a Bam Adebayo basket. But the NBA is going to get all their ads in right now. I see mercifully the Tigers game was rained out, so you don't have to get another loss to the Guardians there. I was hoping throughout the series as we got into right now, this point, between the end of May going into June, when you had, 7 against the Guardians and 7 against the Twins, that the Tigers might be able to start make a run. But with all the rash of injuries and Tarek Skubal going down, getting hit by a line drive, it just continues to add to the misery for any kind of Tigers fans out there. So I'll have the rest of that write-up as far as maybe tomorrow or Monday when that's together. So as we're back into the action right now, Jimmy Butler completes the and one opportunity as they're getting the Ime Udoka talk on the side-by-side on the ABC feed. So it's now 11-4. Marcus Smart throws this one to Tatum. Spin, tries to loft this one in off the floater, picked up by P.J. Tucker. And now here comes Kyle Lowry. He's all open from the top of the key for 3, and he drills it. Nobody picked him up on the Celtics side. It's 14-4 Miami, and all 5 starters have already scored. So any kind of thought about the game 1 loss being a little bit different, or going back in there in game 2, I should say, losing and changing it around, Miami's come out and punched the Celtics right in the mouth. So it's a turnover there by Tatum off the cross pass. And now this is Adebayo fading from 10, and Adebayo hits it. So the Celtics are taking a few uppercuts here. It is 6 for 6 for the Miami Heat. 2 for 5 is just Boston shooting right now. They got to get something going. Again, I know it's early, but you don't want to dig too big of a hole there. I think the spin might be called for a foul before the shot attempt, is from what I'm hearing right now. I'm going to have to turn this TV thing up on the other side, but it's 8:14 left to go in the first quarter. All 5 starters have already scored. 6 for 6 perfect shooting for the Heat right now as they're ablaze, and this is triggered from Tatum to Smart. He gives it to Brown. I've noticed a lot of the shot clock opportunities have really dwindled down. Smart and Brown were playing a 2-man game, picked up by Horford, and he missed the bunny from 3 feet. This gets rebounded there by Jimmy Butler. Lowry, Butler going down the lane. Circus Euro. He missed it and picked up by Horford. Brown tries to go 1-on-2. He's going to draw the foul. So the Celtics have to try to get points any way they can right now. And you're going to be able to get right to the line for a chance for 2. Let me get you right in here, Nick. So this is going to be a chance for Brown to kind of settle some things down here for the Boston Celtics, get to the line to shoot 2. Again, it was an early 6 for 6 right now for the Miami Heat. So Boston trying to lose some points here at the charity stripe to get as much as they can. So Brown has made it first. There was a game before, just the other day, where Brown was 6 for 10. But in this series, 24 points per game, 47% shooting, 53% from deep, and 9 rebounds. So he's been doing a lot of heavy lifting alongside Jason Tatum. So Brown's going to knock this one down, and he makes both. It is now 16-6. Boston is 2 of 7 shooting. Miami has just missed one on the previous walk on the court. They're now 6 of 7, but they're up by 10. Adebayo has it at the elbow, tries to work his way inside. He thought about a fake pass. I don't even know what that was. And then Adebayo just nailed the basket anyway. So now this goes back down the timeline for Marcus Smart. Inside of Tatum, he's tripled. Nice ball movement here from the Celtics. Left wing corner 3, off the mark by Jaylen Brown and picked up by Bam Adebayo. Bounce pass to Butler, give inside to Adebayo. He's been aggressive on Horford right now. What a beautiful spin as he lays it in and puts it around Al Horford. He spun him into a turnstile there. 8 points, 4 of 5 shooting is Bam Adebayo. Horford holding. He's got it at the top of the key. Now it's Marcus Smart as the switches with Adebayo. See if Smart tries to go in the lane. He's going to draw the foul. It's 20-6, but Boston has a chance as Adebayo got smacked right in the mouth. He's checking his chiclets right now as he's down on the floor. Just to make sure, he kind of got stunned there a little bit. He took an elbow right into the mouth from Marcus Smart. Smart's going to go to the line, to shoot 2. So, from what we've talked about in Game 1 and Game 2, when it was a 118-107 victory for Miami and a 127-102 victory for Boston, as for a lot of these games, they have not been very close here in the NBA playoffs. This is one of those ones. I think a lot of people are predicting, probably like myself, that this could maybe swing toward a 6 or 7 game series. This should be a long one. I think they might be checking there for a flagrant or some kind of offensive thing here on the scores table. So just 2 free throws here for Marcus Smart. No text or anything else like that. Again, I threw this over here, Nick, just in case. I don't know if you're in here or not. Just to make sure that goes through. So Smart's going to go to the line to shoot 2 no matter what here. With 6:50 left to go in the first quarter. John on here with me. I'm going to be joined by my partner in crime, Nick Edwards, doing the color stuff. Again, it's going to be a much easier basketball assignment. What's going on, my friend? So I got
How's it going, man? So far, all I can see is Bam Adebayo is dominant the Celtics and Sports making ridiculous plays. But I'm excited to watch this game with you and call this game and see what happens here.
So right now I have 6:50 left to go in the first. Are you anywhere close?
I'm still seeing a replay, so I can't see my time.
Okay, so I am probably 15, 20 seconds ahead of you at this point. So just for a pace of play, so everybody knows here. So Marcus Smart missed the first free throw at the line. He was no technicals or anything else were there, and now this is going to be 20-7. So again, as Nick was saying, this is
650. Are you seeing 650?
Yeah, it was just 6:50. Now I'm down to 6:43 and a foul. So
I'm seeing the official just walk onto the court here and tell us the call. So are you about 30 seconds ahead of me?
Yeah, I'm probably about 30 seconds ahead of you.
Okay.
So Kyle Lowry officially now is going into the locker room. We're going to get an update and see what that's going to be on, and for Malika Andrews on the ESPN side of things. So Strus is the trigger man. Going to give this one into Bam Adebayo. Now Jimmy Butler has this on the right wing as opposed by Grant Williams. Bam Adebayo has been very aggressive. He's got Marcus Smart on him. Let's see if he takes advantage of this. Tries to pump fake it and draw the foul, and he scored over Smart anyway. 22-7. Smart stood his ground, but there really wasn't much to do there. 10 points, 5 of 6 shooting, and 2 rebounds. Smart. Screen there for Horford. Has it at the right wing. Now gets it into Horford. Stolen there by Jimmy Butler, as the active Heat defense has been all over the place right now. Is that Patrick Mills that I'm seeing on the floor? That's what it looks like. On the other side, I think that's Gabe Vincent. Vincent, inside pass for Strus. 17-point lead for the Miami Heat. Ime Udoka has already taken 1 timeout. I was wondering if he was going to take another. 10 for 12, Miami shooting. 2 for 8 for the Celtics. They have not been able to solve the Miami defense. Pass inside for Tatum, and Grant Williams missed the bunny. Picked up now by Vincent as he goes left to right across the timeline. Vincent trying to probe on Horford and will pass back up toward the left wing. And now we get a timeout on the floor from Eric Spoelstra. 5:28 left to go in the first. It's been all Miami. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a reversal when we check back in from the break. 24-7 is your score.
Looks like right now it's going to come down to defense. And right now it looks like, I don't know, Boston just simply just is at home. They're happy. I don't know what's going on right now, but it doesn't look like any sort of a team that wants to win the series.
So again, I know you can speak from the sense of being a Boston fan and all that, so you can throw some other things on my sense that I don't have. But between Game 1 and Game 2, they've not necessarily been the closest games that we've seen between these two teams. But I thought maybe going in, you and I were feeling that this was going to be a 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah, I was expecting. You know what? I was expecting more 5 to 6. I wasn't expecting to go to 7. I thought Boston had a better team. I think they have the length. They have the athleticism. What's coming down here now is the awareness and the IQ, and Miami has that. That's the issue right now for Boston. Right now, it's simply coming down to awareness, being there. This is the moment. They had an issue 2 years ago. Remember the bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Went to the bubble. Yeah, and they couldn't do it. But sometimes they look like the same team. And right now, they look like the team that was in the bubble 2 years ago. Very worried.
Again, I know it's early in this contest, so we got a long way to go as far as, one game is not going to make a series. But I think he felt pretty good going into FTX when you think about Boston getting a split. And now more or less you're looking at TD Garden where Boston's been absolutely dominant with the exception of the one game, I think that was game 5 that the Bucks came back within the final minute. But again, when Boston has that lead and when they're playing at home per usual, they usually come out with a much, much better effort. And when you have Eric Spoelstra, again, former janitor that we like to say, and tape manager, he's been there for a long time. He's one of the best coaches that you have in the league. There's no doubt about that. You give them a big lead right now. And the very surprise for me is not Jimmy Butler in the sense of playing good, but he's playing extremely well in this series so far.
He's doing a great job, and I think right now the X factor right now has been Bam Adebayo. I think he is the X factor. He has the athleticism against those bigger, slower centers on our team on the Celtics in general, not our team. But it's coming out of that. I think this is a welcoming out party for Jimmy Butler. I think a lot of times he's had that kind of, he's been on the Bulls or he's been on the Timberwolves. He's been traded. He's been 4 teams the last 6 years. So he's got a lot to work with here. And the stigma on him is probably not as good, or stereotype is probably not as good. But I think right now this is a chance for him to prove that he is on a superstar caliber. Is he better than Jason Tatum? Is he on the same level as maybe a Kyrie Irving or maybe I don't know, maybe an Anthony Davis? Is he better than those guys? If you're going to be better than them, you have to prove it. This is his chance, and he's really proved it. And I've been really impressed. 2 games straight. He's averaging over 40 points per game, correct?
Pretty much, yes.
Last 2 games. So it's like, it's impressive. But right now, I think right now it's coming down to the Celtics defensively being aware and ready to go. They're a little nervous. I can tell right away just seeing them move around right now. A lot of young guys on the floor, and I'm a little worried that they're not going to be able to come here because this is a big game here. We're at home now. The ideal situation for any Celtics fan, if they're listening or watching this right now, they want to win these 2 games right now and be up 3-1. But Bam Adebayo was really proving it.
So previous couple possessions here to catch everybody up. Max Strus turned it over. Boston was trying to save it. They worked it all the way inside to Al Horford, and he missed a hook from about 3 feet. As now we're back in the action. Vincent tried to get this one into Butler. It's saved toward the baseline. The Miami Heat shot clock is down to 5. We got about 4:35 left to go in this first quarter. Butler, extra pass, Vincent left wing. He misses it all. Tried to get saved up and tapped up by PJ Tucker. And now Derek White is going to race right to left across the timeline. White getting inside the lane. He has to jump stop and pass this one up to the right wing for Smart. Kick around for Horford left wing side. Cans the 3. So Al Horford makes a big time shot at this point in this game as Miami's lead is still by 14. Boston needs to be able to get something going from distance, literally anything going in this game. So that's a basket they definitely could use. Strus from Butler. Holding, nice defense there with the hands up there by Horford. Takes him all the way to the right wing, 3-point line, hits it in Horford's dome. My goodness, what a tough shot there for Strus. Horford played some excellent defense. He stayed with them all the way, but that's why these guys are in the NBA. They can make some tough shots. 4 or 5. Yes. 4 or 5 is Miami from deep. Boston is 1 for 4. Smart with a white ring trigger, and he missed it all, and it was rebounded there by PJ. This is Vincent now going left to right across the timeline. Series of crossovers. Gets it back. Tucker going to let it go from 14 with a floater. 29-10. Miami looking as every bit as the number 1 seed right now. Boston, number 2 seed. They're in trouble early. But again, we have a long way to go here as it's 29-10 with 3:05 left in the first.
The real question right now is when is Daniel Tice and Jason Tatum going to be on the floor right now? I think that's really our big problem right now, space floor, and we need to get Derek and all these guys out of here and get Jason Tatum on the floor. Do we have potential foul trouble? I'm just jumping in here, but does Tatum have 2 fouls?
No, not at the moment. But the Heat have just fouled Jaylen Brown from the 3-point line. He's going to be going to the line for
There you go.
3. And as you've said, Nick, in a score in a situation like this, even though it's early at 29-10, Ime Udoka doesn't have the luxury of being able to rest guys like Tice and Tatum for as long as you would like to, because you're early in the game and you want to get back in this correct as quick as possible. You want to cut this into halftime and get it within 7 to 10 points.
Absolutely. And I think right now, I'm just looking at the team right now. There's a big problem right now on size. Looking at it, that's why I brought up Tice earlier in the broadcast. We need to bring in a different guy. Bringing in this group that they have right now. Who do they have here? PJ Tucker. What's that other center they have on the floor right now? Is it Dedmon?
Dwayne Dedmon, yes.
Yeah, a lot of size on the floor right now.
So Brown nailed all 3 free throws as he was fouled from distance. Now this goes to Gabe Vincent. Dedmon, who was like a minus 30 in the last game. The pass gets deflected there by Brown. Derek White was able to save it before it went out of bounds. Now this goes to Horford. Back to Brown, trying to weave his way through. That was smart, and the foul is called. So Boston doing what they need to right now. They're trying to force their way into the line, trying to be able to find some points. That was a great deflection there by Jaylen Brown with the active hands. Be able to create something there for Boston. Your defense can turn into offense, and Marcus Smart is going to be waiting right now. I think the Celtics are already in the bonus, so he's going to be going to the line to shoot 2. Smart next, the first one down. He was really, really good in game 2, even though he shot in mass. It was 24 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, and a plus 31 for Marcus Smart. One of the very best games that he's played in the playoffs so far. That was at game 2 at FTX. Second free throw. That's where we're at right now. I'm just seeing the second free throw. Split the pair for Marcus Smart. 3 for 14 on the Celtics shooting, but they're down 29-14, so you think it could be worse as Bam Adebayo tries to flip it when he missed it off the front of the rim, and Daniel Tice picked up back up from the Houston Rockets at the deadline. It's the rebound. Smart, right wing on Tyler Hero, tries to back him down right now. Smart corkscrew pass to Derek White, but there was just jerseys in black all over. There was no room for it, and now Hero has it at the right wing side, trying to get around White. Puts his head down with a drive. Gabe Vincent from left wing 3. And Vincent knocks it down. 32-14 Miami. They've had their first quarter points in mass. And as you've said, Nick, they have Jason Tatum waiting at the scorer's table, waiting to check in the next dead ball.
When's he going to come in? That's my question.
Stolen. Vincent keeps it alive. 2-on-1. This is Strus. 3. And it's off. Rebounded there by Daniel Tice. Almost got knocked away there from Jaylen Brown, and we'll see what the Celtics can come up with now. Shooting contested, and he nails it right in Strus's dome. 32-16, 125 left to go in the first quarter. Bam Adebayo is doing a lot of carrying the puck in across the timeline. They trust him to be able to handle that ball. Vincent now. Strus from Butler. Strus is at the right wing. He's being hunted by Tice. Blows by. That was Hero with the floater. And he laid it in. 34-16. This looks like an NBA 2K crossover fest here on some of these big men. Not good right now for the Celtics. Smart throws this one inside to White. Brown, elegant spin move. He got the friendly bounce off the front of the rim as he knocked it down from 14. Heavy contest from mid-range. Didn't matter. Brown has got another basket. Right now, Nick, the early that I'm seeing here for the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown has been carrying the bulk of the load. He's been good so far in terms of a poor start.
He's been dribbling a lot. He's really been carrying the load here. He's been making a lot of shots. And that's what we're going to need right now. Sometimes it's a Jaylen Brown Jason Tatum game. And that's, I think, if you're a Celtics fan, if you've seen Celtics play, you've seen how they play, and this is how they go. Sometimes Jaylen Brown has to carry the load. I think Jason Tatum I don't know if he just got an airplane ticket and decided to go back to Miami for game 5 and decided not to play. But Tyler Hero with a nice floater up there, and he's really just proved that he deserves the 6-man award. But
oh my goodness, the Celtics missed another easy one there for Derek White. It was in the previous possession that Bam Adebayo, he was just that anchor coming down the lane, and You got an uncontested red carpet lay-in. It's 36-18 on Adebayo, trying to take Tice off the dribble, falling away from 12, picked up by Caleb Martin, and one. Oh, Miami at this point. My goodness, where is the box out? A 20-point lead with 15 seconds left in the first. And Nick, I did not expect this from the Celtics at home. You got to go into the second quarter, whether it's Ime Udoka or someone else. I think you take accountability and you start chewing some guys out, be ready to play. Again, as you said, you don't want to leave your game in Miami.
The first guy I'm looking at, the second guy I'm looking at is Marcus Smart.
I absolutely agree with you on that. So Daniel Tice is going to sit down. I'm not sure if he's got two. I know he's got one foul. So this is Caleb Martin at the line for an and one opportunity. It's going to be 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter, so the shot clock is turned off. It is a 21-point lead. Miami is shooting 64%. Boston shooting just 29%. Brown gets it across the Leprechaun, tries to pass this one to Smart. Right wing three. I thought he was fouled, but he missed the shot. Chance for Hero. And they're not going to get this one off in time, or did Adebayo just bank this one in? I don't think he got it off in time. It is 39-18. Miami with the drudging at the end of the first quarter. We'll see if the Celtics can get back in this one when we return for second quarter action. So, Nick, I appreciate it. You can stay, again, for as long as you like. If you have any situations with Penelope or whatever else, I can handle in the meantime. I think there's a spot where your picture is at. If you click on it, it's like it'll mute and unmute, or you can hold and mute just in case you need to be able to step away. But I appreciate this. And, again, I'm going to pretty much follow you a little bit later at the end of the night after I type up the game story and all that. Hopefully we can see, hopefully we can see, and this is just a general consensus between you and I, regardless of fans or not, you want to see a closer game. I'm seeing a lot of the same similarities, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this. The Dallas Mavericks struggled with size in comparison to the Golden State Warriors, another reason why they come back. And again, I'm seeing that a lot, as you said, with Bam Adebayo and the Boston side.
Surprising with Bam Adebayo, being only 6'8", 6'9", he's dominating Daniel Tice and Al Horford and Robert Williams, any of those guys. So I don't know if it's size. I don't know. I honestly, just looking at that, because we have better play. The Celtics have better players. The Celtics have better size. They have the height. They have the weight. I don't think they're ready to play tonight. And like you were saying earlier, with Eric Spoelstra and his coaching tree, I think that's building right now, and he's really just proving to the league and to every fan that they can win. And the Celtics just need to be ready to go, ready to play. I don't think they're ready to play tonight. Being down 20 at home is ridiculous.
No, it's absolutely unacceptable. I agree with you, Nick, on that side. Go ahead.
I don't understand why Jason Tatum isn't playing. I don't know if he yelled at a teammate, but like I was saying earlier, it's going to come down to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is going to be the only reason the Celtics win tonight. And if I'm a Miami Heat fan, that makes me happy. Miami shouldn't win tonight.
I wanted to get this update here per the Celtics blog. So Ime Udoka was saying that Robert Williams III wouldn't play in this game because of the swelling and knee soreness from the injury. So he tried to give it a go here for Game 3. So he's not going to be available. Hopefully,
I said Robert Grant.
Yeah. Hopefully Robert Williams will be available for the start of maybe at least, I would say, Game 5 by the time the series switches back over to Miami on that side of it, because he's another one of those big guys that you would expect in the paint to be able to do a lot of damage. Again, Grant Williams in the previous series of the Bucks, man, in the Game 7 side, he was unconscious from three-point range because he was pretty much left open the whole time to shoot. Miami is not giving, so far in this game, the Celtics those same looks to be able to be open from anywhere. They've been contested all over the place, and the paint defense has been excellent. So we'll see what the second quarter brings.
Layups, John. It's been uncontested layups. It's been uncontested jump shots. It's been wide open post ups, one-on-one. The only reason the Celtics come back in this game is that they actually double team get the guys going, and rebound. And it's coming down to that. We're not going to. No team is going to beat the Miami Heat one-on-one. Bam Adebayo, one-on-one. They're not going to beat the team one-on-one against Jimmy Butler. One-on-one. No team does that. It's all about the switches. I don't know if they have it in them. I don't think they're ready now.
And we just checked back in from the action, and it was a wide open red carpet slam for Caleb Martin. So any kind of talk that you had at the end of the first quarter and the second is Peyton Pritchard is now on the floor here for the Boston Celtics. This is Brown. Pritchard trying to probe inside. Horford floats it in from 10. He knocks it down. 41-20, but I wholeheartedly am with you on this, Nick. The defense for one side has been fluid, and the other defense has been pretty much non-existent. Bam Adebayo, air ball on the floater, and this goes across the timeline right to left for Jaylen Brown. Extra pass, Grant Williams moves it around nicely. Tatum, three off the front of the rim and rebounded by former U of M Wolverine Duncan Robinson. What is he? He's the $90 million man that comes off the bench now. Strus. Strus probes his way in, tries to float it over Horford, and Pritchard gets the rebound after Horford gives him the pass. Pritchard falls down. The ball is live, saved there. A nice swing around. Tatum trying to probe his way inside. Great defense there. Don't know how Tatum still got this one. There is 3 Heat players on top of Tatum as the jump ball is called. Don't know how he didn't turn that one over. What I've noticed in some of these games between the box score, this is the first time I got a chance to cover the Miami Heat on this colorcast side of it. So getting a first look at their defense and everything else for me. But Tatum, even though he's had some good games, there's been situations because he's always had to have the ball in his hand. He can get maybe 5 to 7 turnovers there. Right now, it's 8 minutes of action for Tatum, no points and 0 of 4 shooting. And the tip in the air is lost, and it's picked up now by Tyler Hero.
Don't know if he's a playmaker yet in his career. He's only 24, but he's got a lot of time to grow, and we need the experience. But the problem is right now, a lot of his experience is losing playoff series.
Yes, there's nothing I can say to argue that. That's not what players want to hear, but that's definitely the truth. Grant Williams bit off the pump fake, absolutely landed on Bam Adebayo, who tried to draw the foul there. So we're going to see what this call is going to be. This is just going to be rebound or inbound out of bounds, I should say, here on the sideline. So it's going to be Jaylen Brown and Grant Williams checking out. So we'll see if anyone that comes out of the bench here for the Celtics can kind of turn some things around. Strus. And from Robinson off the give and go, tries to go baseline and unabated. Again, I've said that too many times for my liking so far with the lay-in. It's 43-20. Tatum. Marcus Smart inside to Al Horford. Celtics just need to get something going here. Pritchard. Smart. Trying to probe inside. Great defense there for Martin, and he contested Smart's lane attempt the whole way. Bam Adebayo now gets it to Caleb Martin, uncontested for 3. Rattles it home. 46-20. Timeout, Ime Udoka. I don't believe what I am seeing. 9:41 left in the second quarter. Jesus, this is not what I would expect here. Give me 1 second. So I wanted to get just a quick recap here because I forgot to start the second quarter. Part of it is a 7-2 run for Miami as they started. It was some back-to-back three-pointers. There's some mix in there from Duncan Robinson. It is a 46-20 score with 9:41 left to go in the second quarter. Well, if anybody is going to be looking on, okay, Ethan, I appreciate that question on the YouTube side of things. Do the Mavs have any chances of winning the series? Now, the similar situation is this, if you want to talk about being down 0-2, right? They were down 0-2 several times, and they're down 0-2 again, once to the Suns and now to the Golden State Warriors. And then it was a split between the Jazz, and I thought there was times where the Jazz could have taken that entire series and beaten the Mavs in the first round if there wasn't so many ungodly, uncontested three-pointers. If they have any chance of winning the series, they have to win tomorrow at American Airlines Arena. There's no doubt about that.
Game 3 is a must win.
They have to win Game 3.
Down by 2-0, you can never go down 3-0 in a series and come back. I don't think it's ever happened in the history of any sport. You have to win tomorrow. Great question, but the Mavericks probably have no chance.
No, I would be with my color commentator Nick Edwards on that side in the sense of you're going down 3-0, that's an absolute death sentence. Phoenix, again, you might be able to have some mismatches, and you've seen that there with Chris Paul. Again, he was a little bit older. I'm not going to get in all the Patrick Beverley nonsense comments, but you can't really pick your poison as far as who you want to attack on Golden State because, okay, let's say you go at Curry. Well, you know what Curry's going to do? He's going to go right at Luka Doncic. So there's situations where Golden State just matches up really well. Again, they're intimidating team for a reason, 1 through 5. You got Steve Kerr on the other side. No disrespect to Jason Kidd. He's been getting better and better and better. I'm still going with Steve Kerr on that side, too. So.
Well, I mean, if I'm a Dallas fan, I'm a little worried right now because we have this year, we run this out, we lose, and then next year you have Doncic. After that year, Doncic is a free agent. Is he potentially go to a different team? Even though, Dallas has brought him a lot, but I wouldn't be a lot happy with
there would be a mass mutiny, my friend, if Doncic was allowed to leave. I'm going to check back in here with yes, he could. I'm going to check back in officially here with the recorder. Miami Heat's first half. What's not to like? It's 46 points. It's over 60% shooting right now. This is Marcus Smart, right to left across the timeline, being approached there by Martin. Series of hand checks there, although you can't do much of that anymore. Derek White, Horford, now Tatum, trying to get around Martin. Cross pass was saved by Pritchard before it went out of bounds. Smart had to lean. He knocked it down. He's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity. That's about the toughest basket you could ask for. And Marcus Smart probably got that dye out of his hair there. I don't see the green right now. He's going with the dreads at this point. Tough basket. Knocks it down.
Make Pritchard right there on the athleticism there to keep that in there and kick it Smart. Hope he can hit this free throw.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you have to be able to look for the Celtics at any given point in time and try to get something going on. And it's a save that turned into a three-point opportunity that Smart converted. So this is Adebayo. Going to leave it here for Tyler Hero. He's going to float from 12. And, man, the Amethyst floating badge is available here for the Miami Heat as they've just knocked this one down again. 48-23. Give pass there from Tatum inside to Horford. Horford trying to post on Adebayo. Leaves it for Tatum. Tough contest. Taps it right in, does Tatum. And it's an and one opportunity. So back-to-back big time there. Muscles flexed for Jason Tatum. Going to try to make it 48-26. And regardless of what the scoreline says, this is back-to-back and one opportunities. Jason Tatum is what, Nick? About an 90% free throw shooter, somewhere thereabouts. So you put him in that situation where you can get some easy points, and the Celtics can take what they can take right now.
He's got shooting more, driving in the basket. That would be my goal for Tatum right now. Having a tough game here, 1-5 field goal, shoot this free throw. Right now, we need to realize, hey, let's get to the line, couple free throws, drive the basket. Miami's coming up. It's an 18-point game right now.
Tatum converts the and one. Adebayo. Extra pass there. It looks like PJ Tucker and the red carpet for PJ. There's too many uncontested looks given up by the Celtics. That has to get cleaned up here. There's got to be some kind of pride on the line, and I'm just not seeing it right now. Marcus Smart trying to back down Kyle Lowry, who's just checked in. It was too easy there for Smart as he finishes it off. 51-28, makes it from 10 feet. Bam Adebayo. Now to Kyle Lowry. He wants the screen out. Pritchard up the switch. Still stays there. Adebayo puts his head down. Series of pump fakes. Gets it back to Duncan Robinson and now Lowry. He's got the leprechaun. almost stolen there by Tatum. So there's some defense that you're looking for. But again, this needs to be more along the lines of contesting shooters as Martin and Jimmy Butler and everyone else are getting an extended rest. I think Eric Spoelstra has to like that right now. Hero's the trigger man. Duncan Robinson all alone from 20. He missed the long mid-range. Picked up there across the timeline. Yes.
When you don't play that other games, you're not ready to play, especially with this game 3, especially comes down to this. Hey, Richards had this time. Marcus Smart now has the ball here. Come down to Grant. We'll get a foul here and we'll go with it.
Foul's going to be called on the floor. There was a trigger there for Hero. It was a good look to set up Duncan Robinson, and he's just not had the same kind of luxury or open looks, or whether or not some teams have figured him out from last year, the same kind of success that he had, but he's being paid like a last year's player, and the Heat do want to see a bounce back there for Duncan. This is Peyton Pritchard, left corner 3. And now it's 51-31. Big shot there for Peyton as he knocks it down. This is Jimmy Butler, left to right across the timeline. It's Lowry, Hero, Tucker, Butler, and Max Strus. With Tatum, Light, Pritchard, Smart, and Horford on the floor right now for both respective squads. Butler wants to back down Pritchard. Shot clock's down to 6. He has lost his dribble, fading from 16 off the front of the rim. And an immediate steal by Kyle Lowry. He was slamming that square button and spamming it. And he gets another opportunity here as it's down to 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. 7 turnovers for the Celtics. 2 for Miami. Make that 3, but an and 1 for Jimmy Butler. As he gets the rebound, it fell right to his face. The pumpkin landed right in his hands, and there was nothing else he could do but lay it right in. It was kind of a broken play there. It was a drive-in, got deflected. Tyler Hero, Tatum and White couldn't pick it up. It found Jimmy Butler, and he got about the easiest and 1 opportunity of all time as he somehow got a pass in between Horford and White, and he was Johnny on the spot.
Right there. I think that's what Jimmy Butler's known for, is being aware. Not always the best player on the court, but probably the most aware player on the court, defensively, offensively.
I would
the
definitely
Celtics get really outworked right now. I think that's what happened.
I would definitely agree with you on that point of Jimmy Butler in the sense of, again, you don't have to be the best at everything, but when his awareness, offensive, defensive sense is there, those are the type of guys, especially like you say, with the time on the clock, that they know what the situation is going to bring and where to be. And when you have a nose for the ball, it works out. Jaylen Brown gets the 2 off the easy drive, and now Lowry has it at the right wing, trying to get a screen there for Strus, missed it all, and Tatum is going to get the board. He's going to race right to left. Behind the back for Tatum. PJ Tucker goes flying. I think it's an off-ball foul going to be called against the Boston Celtics. And we get a chance to look at this again. I'll try to relay it to you. Tatum, behind the back. Are they going to say that Tatum got a foul for using the off arm? I think that was a flop city there. Again, not just for my partner there, but that was a LeBron James special from PJ Tucker, and I don't think the Boston crowd should be too happy about that one, as Tucker looked like he got launched out of a cannon.
Looks like his weight is about 20 pounds. I got to throw myself. The hell is that?
And now we have another one that might be going against the Celtics, against Peyton Pritchard.
Wow.
So wrong place, wrong time for Pritchard on that side, but the previous call I think was one of those star calls, but again, I wouldn't call PJ Tucker a star-type player, but you can't really knock somebody down, as you said, Nick, with a 30-pound advantage like a bowling ball like that.
Yeah,
so,
you might have to give him an Emmy. You might have an acting career after this.
Eric Spoelstra is shaking his head as he's looking on. He's really got to be enjoying the way his team is playing, as I imagine any Miami fan would right now. Hero going to give this one to Butler. He's going to shoot it from the left lane. He's going to toilet seat this one around the rim, but it bounces out. And now Jaylen Brown put it on the Jets, getting down the lane, and a foul is going to be called. He had a chance to finish that one, but I think Tucker might have got his hand in there to save it. So there should be 2 free throws here for the Boston Celtics, whether or not they're going to think this is in the act of shooting. Beautiful crossover there as Brown had the power move, got right around Hero, and he slapped him right across the arm.
Yeah, they can't always act like they want to get an Emmy here, they want to get a nominee here. This one here is definitely a swipe to the left hand there, and the other one too.
So Brown seems to be having that same issue from, what was it, the game before? Was it game 2, Nick, or was it game 1 when Brown went 6 of 10 from the line? He's already missed.
Always had an issue. He's had an issue every time it comes down to playoff time. He has had bad free throw percentage. I don't exactly know the free throw percentage, but it's at 6 for 10, 5 of 9. It's never consistent, especially with a guy his caliber. We expect to make those free throws. He's 6 to 7 to 9, but we need more.
Split the pair. He's got 14 points. Hero, series of hesitations. Missed it off the backboard. That was a wild-looking shot. Horford, Brown puts his head down, passes out to Peyton Pritchard, right wing side. Nice ball movement there for the Celtics. Tatum missed the three. Tried to get saved by Pritchard, but P.J. Tucker wrestled the pumpkin away. And now this goes to Kyle Lowry. 7 of 12 as Miami shooting threes. Boston just 2 of 9. Lowry passing this one back out to Strus. He's got it near the leprechaun as this goes now to Tyler Hero. Cross.
Lowry's going to be more aggressive. That's what I've noticed. Renee's going to be more aggressive.
Trying to.
Shot there by Hero. Nope, missing. Getting the rebound there with Strus going to kick it back into Dedmon, but it's going to be the Celtics ball here. 5 minutes left.
Step out of bounds is Miami, so turnover there as Fulster looks on. 5:10 left to go in the first half. It's been all Miami, 54-34, but honestly, Boston, even at this point, has actually cut into the deficit a little bit, if you can believe that. Again, it was as high as 24. Tatum, see if he can go right at P.J. Tucker right now. I might be looking at a one-on-one play here. That's what Tatum wants. So now this is Hero trying to get this one to Brown. And that was just a brutal pass. I think that might have been Horford that threw that one away.
Yeah.
Hero missed it all. Gets his own rebound back from 12. Missed it again. Saved again by the Heat. And a foul is going to be called mercifully against the Miami Heat. Turnover there. As the Celtics dodged 2 bullets. 4:41 left to go in the second quarter. Drawn here with you in the play-by-play with my partner in crime, Nick Edwards, on the color. We're at TD Garden in Boston for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final. It is a 1-1 series right now. Brown is going to the line to shoot free throws, it looks like, as Marcus Smart looks on. He's got some words to say. Not particularly
everybody on the floor, but he hasn't done much.
Brown makes the first free throw. 54-35 now your score with 4:19 left. I'm not going to make mention of what I see on my TV right now. I will say that. 4:12 left.
Well, we got the Mystics game coming on against the other logo. I don't know if the logo don't grab that. But we have that coming up here tonight on Sunday at 3 or 2.
What are you going to watch? The NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, or a WNBA regular season game? I feel sorry for those ladies on that side of things. Kyle Lowry.
Well, definitely know when I'm not watching.
The free throw player was split again by Brown. So that speaks to your point. P.J. Tucker casts a 3 and missed it. Brown corrals the pumpkin, goes right to left across the timeline. Yeah, this overhead for ESPN is absolutely terrible.
Come on, get out of here. We get back to our normal broadcast cameras. We have a normal call here. Tatum going in there. The layup. Oh.
Which one would you relate that to, Nick? Baluba on NBA 2K or whatever the hell that one's called?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely atrocious to look at and to watch if you have any sort of care about the team or you have a betting game here. And as Miami gets it back, it's going to be 19 with 4 minutes to go.
So Boston just 1 point off turnovers to the Miami Heat's 12. That kind of speaks to the point of a 54-35 game right now. Shot for Martin, or make that Strus, I should say. P.J. Tucker hits the floor.
Oh.
That is off. Jaylen Brown's got 2 fouls now, so not sense of danger here in terms of foul trouble, but probably sense of danger here early as far as the score line, as it's 54-35. P.J. Tucker will be the trigger man, it seems, for the inbound, or he's just going to sit on the right side corner. Who's going to be the trigger man here? Looks like Strus. So Strus now into Lowry. He's got it at the left wing side, opposed by Jason Tatum. Shot clock down to 5. Miami taking their sweet, sweet time here. Lowry still trying to dribble inside, fading away from 12, and he hit it over Tatum's outstretched arms. My goodness, what a difficult shot that was. Brown, Tatum off the puff fake, 2 defenders in his face, picked up by Adebayo. Tatum he's struggling right now. If he was in a gym by himself, he'd be missing some shots. Adebayo, when he gets the blow by, 58-35. Miami, that's just way too easy. That's double square and a slam dunk there for Bam Adebayo. Marcus Smart now to Grant Williams. He's got to the top of the key being opposed by Strus. Tatum, drive, pass to Horford, top of the key 3. They need it, and they don't get it. Rebounded by Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy goes at the top of the key now, being opposed by Horford. Leave for Lowry. 12 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Inside now to Bam Adebayo. Been very active, very, very good in this game. Spin move, hook from 8. Bam Adebayo stuck on automatic. 60-35. 16 points, 8, 12, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. He's filling up the stat sheet like a smaller version of Giannis, I would say, right
Very
now.
impressive by Adebayo here. He's from the very moment this game has started, has been impressive, and now the Celtics have no control down there.
Absolutely, Nick. That's what I'm seeing too. Grant Williams might have been raked across the arm. He's holding something toward the extremities as we go to a timeout here. It is 60-35, your score. We're going to get set to call the rest of the first half action. And mercifully, hopefully this game can get closer so we can start the second half. Sometimes we get games like this, Nick. I apologize. This has to be one of those ones that you have to call here with me when it's not so close, but that's been the experience that I've had for a lot of these games, with the exception of maybe a couple early Mavericks games I did with the Jazz. All these games have been like this for me anytime I go back in the hardwood right now, so I don't know why.
I don't know. I don't want you calling any more of these basketball games. You're going to prove the Celtics is good luck, because this has been one of the worst games I've seen from the Celtics.
Yeah, this is not pretty in any sort of reservation. There really isn't any kind of stat that you can throw in there to rectify that have been good for the Celtics on this side. Let me look at the box score here on ESPN. So it's already, shockingly, I can't believe I'm even saying this, Bam Adebayo is at plus 31, 8 of 12 shooting, 16 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals.
LeBron James.
I would think if you and I were on the floor right now, Nick, I think we could also be a plus player at this point in the way that the Celtics are playing.
Well, if I'm on the Bam Adebayo's team or Jimmy Butler's team, yeah, absolutely. They're absolutely killing it. This is killing me. This is horrible.
I've had the same situation when I do the color when the playman is Cooper Hopkins for Calgary, and he sent me something on Instagram in the sense of Edmonton coming back and punching them in the face was killing him too. So I can only imagine what it's like to be on that side. Again, all my teams in Michigan are pretty much worthless, so I don't get to experience postseason joy and misery. But I feel for you, my brother, on that side.
I think you'll be a lot happier.
We'll see what happens after the draft. I hope for good things. As you've said, I want to speak to this for a game note, Nick, here. You nailed this one. Jaylen Brown is the only one with a pulse right now. 4 of 7 shooting, 7 of 9 from the line, 15 points. It seems like every other Celtic has yet to unpack their bags from Miami. So we'll see what ends up happening as far as the second half. If any kind of changes can be made. Now, we've seen the Celtics, they've come out in some third quarter runs and turn some things around. But I agree with you in the sense of I think Miami is a little bit of a different caliber team on defense.
Defense is going to be how you win a championship. Doesn't always mean you want talent wins a championship. Defense is not win a championship. But right now, the problem is there's no talent on Boston's end. And they're forward. Miami's winning defensive hand. They're winning smart plays. They're getting good plays. Right now, if I'm Jaylen Brown right now, I'm pissed off because I came here to play today. The other 5 to 7 guys that were on the floor tonight so far have not played. So have Jason Tatum here as we get back in action here, going in here with a couple minutes left. Jason Tatum has, what does he have, 3 points?
Jason Tatum's got 3 on 1 of 7.
Unbelievable. You're not winning that way. If I'm Jason Tatum right now, if I'm the star, if I'm the second man on my team, I'm talking to my star. I'm telling him right now, let's get it going. That's the only hope. We do not want to have a 20-point game going into the second half.
No, you and I talked about it toward the end of the first. You wanted to cut this halftime deficit more toward a 10-point line, and right now it's sitting at 23 with a $150 left to go in the first half. This is going to be Grant Williams at the line shooting 2.
Mind you a little bit, brought Tatum back to the floor after missing the last 4 minutes not scoring. Keep Tatum and Brown in the game. Am I right on that?
Absolutely. There really is nothing else left to do right now. Again, you can. I want to throw this out there, and then we'll call the game action here in a moment. I know in the NBA there might be some situations where you get those laughers where the Warriors lost by 55 or whatever and the game is over, but I hate to throw away games in the playoffs. You keep your starters in there and see if you can chuck into this deficit here. Turnover there for Brown from Williams. This is Vincent, gets the blow-by. Chance for Butler, effortlessly down the lane. Jimmy Butler looking like Kobe.
He might be Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. I was trying.
Right now, I've never seen anybody like this right now. Defensively, awareness-wise, right now, it's incredible right now.
I was wondering if you were going to be mad at me if I quoted as Ernest, because I was thinking that, so I said Kobe. Al Horford gets an and 1, so the Celtics crowd has something to cheer about here as he flexes his muscles a little bit. And I can say this on Colorcast, the Celtics part of it, because I can use my language, as a Kyrie is a douche shirt.
That's a good shirt. I wish I could purchase one of those. I'm a Celtics fan, but right now I'm more hoping the Alchemist is a free throw.
So the
23 points, cut it down.
The Celtics uni and Al Horford being sponsored by Vistaprint. He knocks down the and 1, and again, you might want to print a new game plan here for Game 5. By the time you get into Miami, if they don't figure this out here in Boston, at least for Game 4. 16 points off turnovers. This is Vincent down the lane trying to air raid this thing in. Outlet, Tatum, Euro, lays it in over Strauss. Back within 20. Absolutely. Tatum with the beautiful Euro off a one-on-one. You be aggressive when you get that mismatch. You haven't seen a lot of that for Tatum in the open court. They need more. Bam Adebayo. Butler tried to kiss it off Horford. And Brown gets the pumpkin. This is Smart now. Cross court inside. Horford trying to work on Strauss. He went right at him. And he nailed it. 62-44 Boston with a 7-0 run. At least they're closing out this second quarter with a little bit of life here, Nick.
A little bit of momentum right now, but right now we have Butler cutting in here for the Euro. Oh, back to Oladipo here, and they're going to get that Tucker.
And the ball is turned over, I think.
Nope.
Or was it going to?
Miami's ball here with 26.7 left.
You're correct.
Right now, Boston has all of the momentum right now. If you're a fan of the Celtics, if you like, we're getting a little bit closer right now, but we got to watch out for Gabe Vincent. Where's Gabe Vincent at? 22, Jimmy Butler.
Struce. Vincent. 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Step back. He missed it. Horford. Shot clock turned off. Down to 15 seconds. Tatum trying to draw the foul. And whether or not it would work out, Nick, I like that play there for Tatum. He's being aggressive right now in the final minute, trying to sense something, and that's what you want under your star, is it not?
It's absolutely what you want right now, because he's realized right away his jump shot isn't working. He's 2 for 8 from the line. He's he has no sort of judgment on his shooting game, but he's been able to attack the lane. He's bigger, and he's doing really well right here. The Celtics have 16 seconds left here, down by 18 here with Smart on the ball. Smart
has it now at the top of the key. It is down to 5 seconds left to go in the second. He's still trying to rock the baby to sleep against Tucker. Pass it, Tatum. Nice move. Nails the 3. Ends the second quarter. Boston with an 11-0 run. And they've gotten back in this one all of a sudden, 62-47 as the TD Garden crowd is absolutely loving this one. I'm stumbling over my words. That was a great shot there by Tatum as he finished that one off, 62-47 at the half.
And Jimmy Butler right now is walking down with his head down because he understands right now what we've just done here. If you have an 11-0 run here, then you cannot allow that to happen here. Jason Tatum has a hesitation here. What is that, a Wayne Ellington or whoever that is, number 2, Gabe Vincent?
Gabe Vincent. He looks like Wayne Ellington. He looks like Patty Mills. He looks like.
Whatever, yeah, Patty, yeah. They're all of them. And that big shot there is Tatum. What a big shot there. 15 points they go into the second half. Ime Udoka, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I'm really proud. You know, these guys were down by, they had an 11-0 run there. So, huge.
Yeah, absolutely. We were, again, I feel like, because this was just like literally 2 minutes that this has happened, we were looking for some kind of close for the Celtics, and, you know, that 10 point that you wanted to hover it around. Right now, we're sitting at 14 points here. So Celtics, again, 11-0 run. See how the third quarter will start here. They're right back in this game now.
You know this as a fan, and you've seen a lot of games, play a lot of games. Like, doesn't matter if you're down by 15 points. By the fourth quarter, with 12 minutes left, you want to be down by about 5 to 8.
Yes.
So we got to build that. We have to get to that point. So the Celtics have to be the better team right now. They have to continue to push the tempo. Have to continue to score. And have one of those moments where the crowd goes crazy. They have any chance of winning this game. But I've been really impressed with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They've been playing really good here. Jimmy only has 8 points, but his defense has really proved a problem. You can just tell with the switches that he's done. He's played really good there.
Yeah, from what you were saying and from what I looked at, again, this is the first time for me getting a chance to look at Miami. Again, it might be a little bit different in the playoff aspect of it, but the scheme for Spoelstra, the switches, the size, everything that they've been able to do, they look really good. For me, when I look at NBA basketball, in the sense of sometimes there's just not a lot of defense being played. And again, that's probably not what I like. Again, if you're more of the fan of the three and things like that, you like this style of play more. But this, to me, feels like a little bit of a throwback, a little bit of team defense. I can definitely see why they had a 53-29 record going into the end of the regular season. Boston came out really, really strong in the second half, 51-31. But this should be a good matchup here. And at least the Celtics have come out with a little bit of flight to end the second. But the defense is what I've really been impressed for here from Miami side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that comes back down to the tree that they have there with Riley and Spoelstra, and then they have Jimmy from their group, and Kyle Lowry got better leadership. That's the biggest problem. That's the Celtics have any chance of winning this game, winning the series. It's going to come down to them offensively opposing their will. Talent-wise, the Celtics are better, but experience-wise, obviously, we probably get the advantage to the Heat. That helps. And tonight, I think it's coming down right now in the first half. We're only down by 15. We've got some things to work on and all that, but Jimmy Butler has been impressive. And I'm impressed, I have to be honest with you, in the last couple of games, watching the other games and everything. I think he's taken his level of play from an all-star to a superstar. And I think it's time that we maybe recognize him for who he is and what he's done. But it's all going to come down to making the finals again. You can't lose this game. Lose these games in general, lose the series, and have a chance of being one of the best ever. But right now, Jimmy Butler's proven a lot.
So let me ask you this, just as an aside for the half right now, because we got some time to talk, and I'm getting some of these notes and stuff together here for the game story. So, again, I agree with your latter point. It comes down to what you do in the postseason and try to win one. But let's break this down here momentarily. Let's see if you agree with me in this matter, whether or not I'm completely fucking crazy here. So between Jimmy Butler on the Bulls and then the time limited at that between the Timberwolves, the 76ers, and now the Miami Heat, doesn't it really feel like, even though he hasn't had some of the same postseason success, that the team is much, much better when he is on it?
Yes.
because I think you've always been able to say that about Jimmy Butler, but to your point, you want to see that sustained playoff success. Now, from what I'm seeing right now in this game and in this series, Butler, to your point, is playing like one of the very best small forwards, maybe a top 3 small forward in the league.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily if that's sustainable here for the 33-year-old, but right now this is his time. This is his moment.
It's a fair point, but also I think this might be a moment in time where we change our judgment on who Jimmy Butler is. We think of Jimmy Butler as maybe the second-hand guy, or he can't bring his team to a championship. He does it twice against the Boston Celtics. I think he's proved his worth, proved what he can do, and proved his value on a team. And if they win tonight, I think Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy and Bam, they might have some here. Before this game happened, I would have said, break it up. Break up Miami. Break up, trade Jimmy. I don't want to trade Bam. I would rather trade Jimmy. He's older, like you were saying, 33.
Yes.
But it's like, if they can win tonight, I think you might have another 2 or 3 more years where Miami's just in the same kind of seed, 1 to 2 seed, good team. But they got to look at what they can get. Going back and trying to make it more interesting here, who can they add to this team if Boston wins? Potentially Bradley Beal. Potentially John Wall. Potentially DeAndre Ayton. There's a couple guys they could get. But does that add enough with the East against the Celtics, maybe against Sixers if they're healthy, or maybe the Nets if they actually want to play today? Are they better? I don't think so. That's why today's a big game for them. And Miami's one of those sneaky teams. You always see those sneaky teams every once in a while that beat good teams. And I think that comes down to if there's no talent, what do you look at? I think it's coaching. Maybe it's time for people to look at Eric Spoelstra, the top 5 coach in the NBA.
I said this for a long time. I would not give him any due when it was LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, when everyone else was throwing him flowers. And I only said that because you have one of the best players ever, LeBron James, will be arguably 1 or 2, whether you want to rank Jordan ahead or this and that. Last Dance might influence that for a lot of people. But Dwayne Wade is also probably the 3rd best shooting guard of all time. And then Chris Bosh had his career cut.
Kobe, and the Duke.
Right. You put, if you wanted to throw James Harden in there, people want to do, but he hasn't
be in there.
He hasn't won anything.
Nope.
And I think that's the one strike I would put against him. And then Chris Bosh.
I feel that way.
Go ahead.
No, I feel like a lot of people think that way about the Miami Heat, about Spoelstra. What I've noticed is that Spoelstra is not getting the credit he deserves. Miami, they don't talk about Miami. They think that Boston's going to run the floor with them. Miami's a good team, but also with basketball, this is this coach. This is about coaching. It's about how filling the roles and everything. It's not about who the talent is. Miami clearly in this first half played a better team game than the Celtics played. And that's what's going to come down to. And I think that's Miami's plus.
Absolutely. And to the point, I want to speak about the coaching things. When we were getting away from the big 3, I wanted to see what the Heat would do after all those guys were gone. Again, a couple of years ago, they were in the NBA Finals, and then they lost to the Lakers. And then now they are one of the best teams in the East. I agree with you as far as the roster construction. I think maybe even in the sense of winning a title is going to change some things here for Jimmy Butler and all that. Obviously, Bam is a cornerstone. I don't think he would ever go anywhere. But this team really isn't that young when you look up and down the lineup here for Miami. So a lot of moving pieces. Again, I think a critical offseason, as you've mentioned, might change some things here for Miami. But the one thing that's always been a presence now is no matter what or who is on that Miami roster, as long as Eric Spoelstra and that Heat culture or whatever else you want to throw out there is there, Miami always seems to be relevant in the Eastern Conference. So I want to throw this last question out of here too, as we're still waiting to start the second half. Regardless of who wins the Eastern Conference, I don't care who wins the West, but whoever wins the East, do you think they have a shot at winning an NBA title, realistically?
I think it would be an underdog if it's the Golden State Warriors. But if it's the Mavericks, I think both these teams have an edge. So that's how I look at it. I think it'd probably go Warriors, Celtics, Heat, then Mavericks in my head. Just thinking about it. But whoever wins this definitely has a chance of winning a championship. This is why this game right here, Game 3, is huge. One team's going to have a lead. If you're Miami, nice. We won against the Boston Celtics at home. That's what you want. The Celtics have to win this game. There's a difference right now how these teams are going to play these, the next 24 minutes. And definitely, whoever wins this series has a chance of winning the championship. I would think the Celtics win. But probably, whoever's going to play, they're going to play against the Warriors. Celtics probably have a chance. The Warriors are definitely the Heat are definitely the underdog against the Warriors. So definitely, no. Both these teams right now, you're watching right now, and everyone's watching, whatever. It's like whoever wins this has a chance of winning a championship. Definitely, there's no gimme anymore in this league. So.
That's what I wanted to pick your brain on and make sure if there wasn't just going to get like a slobber knocker going into the NBA Finals. Because between watching these two teams and then watching Dallas and Golden State, I don't foresee that either. I see 4 really good teams that are left right now.
Absolutely. And Dallas isn't bad. Dallas isn't worse than the Heat or worse than the Celtics or worse than the Warriors. It's all how you play. It's all about your prime, how you play. But also defensively, all these teams are really, really good. So that's what it comes down to. Miami played a better defensive half, and Boston bounced back.
Yeah, they really have. So it was an 11-0 run to end the second quarter here. So now it's a 62-47 game, and what looked to be a game that was going to be just completely one-sided has all of a sudden turned on its ear here. So I think it's probably, Nick, a very important first 5 minutes here in the third quarter for the Boston Celtics to continue to try to just, I would say, probably even lock down a little bit more on defense, more so than even worrying about their offense as much. Maybe I'm crazy on that side, but I just haven't seen the intensity that I would like. I hope the Celtics and Ime Udoka can ratchet this up. That's how they can get a little closer here, get on some fast breaks, get on some runouts, and see if they can make this even more of a game than it already has become now.
Yeah, you're not crazy at all. You're not absolutely no. The first 5 minutes of this game is going to be the most crucial 5 minutes of the game at all. It's going to come down to can the Celtics and I don't know if you can, and you tell me before this game starts, can they impose their will, impose their force on this team? Because here's the thing, we're down by 15 points. This isn't just we're down by 5. Oh, maybe we keep it close or whatever. We have it home. Maybe we have the home helps. No, we're down by a lot. This game needs to be a 7-point game before you know it. And, I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. And you nailed it from the first 5 minutes. And I don't see it happening. I think Miami's a better team defensively. But, how they play, but also I think maybe home court. Maybe the fans get excited. Maybe Grant Williams hits a couple threes. Mark Smart. But it's going to come down to the first 5 minutes, how they want to play. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, to your point, I'm glad we're kind of in lockstep on that. I the only thing I see right now for Boston, even if they got all their other defense and everything else, let's say they fix it and get it all figured out. I don't know if they have an answer right now for Bam Adebayo. That's the one thing I don't see right now for Boston. Whether or not it's just a switch or anything else, maybe if Robert Williams was available, maybe that might help. But he just seems to be confident. The one thing that's really surprising me is Miami's very comfortable as soon as he crosses that timeline to be able to dribble, go straight down the court. Again, I know he has a little bit of an outside shot. He hasn't had to show too much of it. But he's a very versatile big, and I think a lot of teams would love to have Bam Adebayo. So the Heat are definitely happy on that side of things. Right now we're getting set to start the third quarter. I appreciate all the halftime intermission comment, if you will, here, Nick, as far as all that. I think that was pretty well done. I know I recorded most of that myself there before we actually got into the play-by-play. So right now, we're getting a series of shots in between all these teams, and God, it really surprises me how much Gabe Vincent looks like Patty Mills and some of these other players.
He looks like him, man. And he plays like him, too. He's smart. He shoots the ball well.
He does. This is the first time that I've seen Gabe Vincent. I couldn't even tell you who he was if I saw him on the street. So it was 51% shooting for the Heat, 7 of 16 from 3, 34 points in the paint to the Celtics 16. That's the big one there for me. 17 bench points to 5, but the Celtics ended the first half on a 10-0 run. Again, you're listening to John out doing the play-by-play with my partner in crime and color, Nick Edwards. We're being opposed there by Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, and all of that, Mike Breen. If you love that usual ABC crew, that's your only option right now during this time of it. You don't have Kevin Harlan and everybody else there available for you, so it is what it is. I can always take it or leave it with this trifecta.
John, I agree with you, but also just something I also throw the duo ship here, and I think right now the main thing is going to be the Celtics imposing their will, like we were saying earlier in the halftime break, 5 minutes. First 5 minutes, no Jimmy Butler on the court right now. Kyle Lowry on the court, slow. He's old. It's time for them.
So as you've said, Nick, and no Jimmy Butler right now. Jimmy Butler is not going to return for the Miami Heat with knee inflammation. So the Celtics, again, 10-0 run. No Jimmy Butler, according to Malika Andrews. We will keep you posted if those things change there. This is Kyle Lowry. Now Victor Oladipo out of Indiana. He's going to let this one go. Saved there by Horford. Russell down in between the PJ Tucker. I wouldn't be surprised if that's not called a foul. There's not a lot of contact in the NBA anymore, but there certainly was a lot there. Is that really going to be on Al Horford?
Oh, the jump ball.
11:43 left to go here in the third. It's a jump ball between Tucker and Horford. I think we're going to do this one again. PJ Tucker was having a little bit of knee soreness himself. They were wondering if he was going to play. So, oh man, that is NBA 2K right there.
Right now, I'm looking into this game real quick. But Jimmy Butler's not going to return tonight. I mean, obviously they won it for Game 4, Game 5. They want to win the series. But now it's coming down to Victor Oladipo gets a spot here. Do you think they have any chance to win this, or the Celtics going to be able to come back?
Celtics are going to be able to impose their will a little bit, like we said, within that first 5 minutes. We kept going back to that. Now it's really a development here with Jimmy Butler. So they need to cut into this deficit and make it like 5-7. Now, Oladipo missed his first couple. He's going to be getting the rest of the start throughout this game. So big time development here with the Celtics. Now with the first offensive possession of the third quarter, we will see if the Celtics can cut into this. Brown goes down the lane, lays it in baseline. Jaylen Brown, he's been very, very strong throughout in terms of the Celtics. They haven't had their best, but Jaylen Brown's had 17 on 5 of 8. Kyle Lowry off the front of the rim. Picked up there by Grant Williams. Left, right across the timeline. Brown, series of hesitations, gives to Grant. No hesitation for 3. He missed the shot, saved there by Tatum. And Marcus Smart is holding his knee. My, oh my. This is not good for the Celtics on the side, again, of something that might have broken their way with Jimmy Butler in the knee. Now we have Marcus Smart down with his knee, and we have a bunch of hands on heads right now. He is clutching. His face is not being shown, and the trainers are immediately talking to him. They might be cutting to a timeout here, and that's what they're doing. So when we come back in, we'll see what happens here with Marcus Smart. Boy, Nick, that's not good at all. If just
grabbed it right away. He grabbed it right away.
Just an aside from me and you, not even the game side of things. Yeah. Regardless of what Marcus Smart may or may not do on offense, his defensive intensity, his way he can play all 5 positions and all that. The Celtics really, really need Marcus Smart.
We need him. Just on the floor. I never wanted to be that way because I hate Marcus Smart. Look at Game 6 or whatever it was, Game 7, when he turned over 3 times in a row.
I get it, yes.
He's always been that way in big games. But, Yeah, I would say this right now if you're a Celtics fan. I mean, obviously, it's like you don't want that. That was we want him on the floor. It's just I don't want him playing the last 5 minutes of the half. But man, I'm really worried. I hope that he's blocking or something because whenever I saw the injury right away before it even happened, I just thought, oh shit, you're right away.
So once we get to actually into the game action, I know the color cast side of things and the other things are probably a little bit ahead of even all of our feeds. So we'll keep you abreast of the situation there with Marcus Smart. But what we do know for a fact, according to Malika Andrews and all that stuff, is Jimmy Butler is not going to return with knee soreness. So whether or not Marcus Smart's going to be able to go and do all the rest of it, this was an opportunity here for Boston to be able to cut even more into the deficit. Hopefully the situation once we figure this out here with Marcus Smart and Jimmy Butler, we have to say that too because you want these guys on the floor and the fans want to be able to watch them, that these guys can come back soon and everything else isn't too lingering to the point where it affects the series. And look, Nick, we know this for a fact. Sometimes in the NBA playoffs, in any sport, injuries are a part of everything. And these are two key injuries on both sides that could definitely change the momentum pendulum in the series.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think the bigger injury right now is Marcus Smart, just because simply if he's not on the floor, they don't win. I think Miami might have a better coaching team. They might be able to work it through. But on a long-term series, clearly the best player in the series might be Jimmy Butler. So if he's not playing, that's a big deal. This is a big game for the Boston Celtics. If they're going to have any chance, they're going to want to win this series, and they should win this game. So.
Very, very long commercial here makes me believe that something is going on with Marcus Smart. I don't want to speculate here, but usually we're already in the sixth commercial here, and usually by 4 we're getting close to some kind of update. So
yeah, the health insurance company definitely got a nice raise there.
T-Mobile's getting paid right now.
T-Mobile. Yeah, it was T-Mobile. Smart holding that left nose at that right knee. He's going to the locker room there. Definitely not what you want to see for a Celtics fan. But with Jimmy Butler out of the game here, this is a chance for the Celtics to win this game.
So upon my look, Kyle Lowry lands on Smart. He rolls that ankle. And a fever pitch screen there for Marcus Smart, and he is being carried off the court into the locker room. He's got a little bit of walk underneath that weight, so that's a little bit of a good sign there. But I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say he's going to return for this game for what it looks like. Oladipo, no, for Lowry.
Kyle Lowry is making a lot of big shots here, and I think that's how they're going to win this game here. It's going to be Victor Oladipo and Kyle Lowry's shot making. Kyle Lowry's really creating a lot here. 8 points, 3 of 6, only 13 minutes played here. Jaylen Brown cuts in the lane there and gets a basket. Big play there for the Celtics.
So I think you're actually ahead of me now. I might have to go because I got the Kyle Lowry 3. If you want to pick this up here for a minute, I can try to switch back over to my TV side.
And we have Lowry dribbling up there. Pick and roll there with Strus. I like that switch, but it's going to come down to if Oladipo can make that layup there against Tatum and Grant. And that'll look up by 16 now. Seems like the Celtics want to go right to Tatum now. And I think that's a good plan here if they want to get that. It goes to Pritchard and then Brown. Then Brown just turns it over to Oladipo. Celtics seem to not know what they're doing there as they did the Tucker. Nope. We push it up here. 16 points. Celtics need to get something going here early. Brown cuts the basket, and it's the second. The Celtics would really just turn the ball over here, and Oladipo crashes right in the basket and scores.
So I can keep you.
20-point game.
I can keep you up to date now. I got 8:40 left to go in the third. I think I'm moving ahead now. So this is Brown. He has it at the right wing side. He leaves this for Tatum. Cross court, Grant Williams. He stopped it before it went out of bounds and picked up now by Horford. Horford throws this back out to Brown. He's wide left wing side with 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Horford inside Tatum. He drew the foul, through the contact there, so big time opportunity here for the Celtics to be able to get a few more points. Again, if we get any updates as far as Marcus Smart and Jimmy Butler, we will let you know, but it looks to be that Jimmy Butler is gone completely, and Marcus Smart, from what we saw, don't think he's going to be able to return at all. So this is going to really land on, I think, the trifecta here as Tatum makes the first free throw. The trifecta of Brown, Tatum, and I'm going to throw Grant Williams in there as well in terms of being able to get some points.
Honestly, in my opinion, I might throw Al Horford in that group.
Horford.
I think right now Horford is more crucial in this team right now. We need to score points. We, as a Celtics fan, if you're listening, you believe in the Celtics, they got it. I don't know what's going on here right now, but they need to start scoring points to have any chance here. Jimmy Butler is not on the floor, and he will not be on the floor for the rest of the game today.
Tatum split the pair. It's 15 for 20 for the Celtics at the line. Shot there for Strus off, picked up by Tatum now as it was saved there by Horford. Tatum's got it. Series of jump steps later for Brown. Gives it to Horford. Goes back to Peyton Pritchard, cut off. Horford top the key, now gives to Pritchard. 12 seconds left to go on the shot clock as there's all kinds of switches here for Miami. They've been active. Grant Williams on Kyle Lowry. See if they can dump that one in if they wanted to. This is Horford now on Strus. Horford putting his head down, hook and miss. Try to get saved by Grant Williams. I think this foul is going to go against the Miami Heat with 7:31 left to go in the third quarter. And Nick, I appreciate you picking up some of the play-by-play for me as I had to switch over there. I should be good now on that side of it. When I was streaming it on the ESPN side, it was getting a little bit more delayed than usual. So Horford missed it, and Williams tried to save it, and he did draw the foul there as he's got a very expressionist face there. It's Peyton Pritchard to Brown. Tries to get around Strus, lays it in, and the Celtics are within 12. They were as down as many as 24. 7:15 left to go in the third quarter. It's Oladipo, Lowry, Adebayo, Tucker, and Strus on the floor right now for Miami. Tatum, Brown, Pritchard, Williams, and Horford for the Celtics. And a shot there for Strus silences the crowd a little bit there as he hits it from a right wing three. And a foul called on the floor. It should stay here with the Celtics. It's going to be an offensive foul, I believe, against P.J. Tucker. And Marcus Smart is walking through the tunnel. He is starting to limber a little bit, moving around. He's testing it out, getting little sprints in there. Good sign for the Boston Celtics, whether he can or cannot play. And the fact that maybe nothing is broken, I can say that with speculation. You certainly wouldn't be doing that if it was. So Marcus Smart is going to make his way back onto the floor with a standing ovation. How cool is that from the Boston crowd?
Looks like he's got a little tweak. Maybe he's got a little, he's got a little strain or something. But he looks like he's not physically injured. That's going to cost him a game or so. But he's got to start warming those legs up a little bit.
Absolutely. You see those guys sometimes on that exercise bike. It wouldn't surprise me if he's going to be hitting that before he goes, steps in and out to keep
he's walking right into that
everything warm.
Looks like he's ready to go. He's walking right into the Celtics.
That's got to pump up any Celtics fan right now to see a warrior mentality, and this feels Paul Pierce-esque. Okay, again, maybe a little bit on that side with the exception of the wheelchair thing, because what wasn't that debunked as I have to go to the bathroom, so put me in a wheelchair?
Yeah, look at that as a bathroom break. Smart simply had to have a bathroom break, but that was definitely, as Richie noted, that was definitely Paul Pierce-esque.
So Marcus Smart gets the ovation as he steps onto the floor right now. So great development here for the Boston Celtics and NBA fans in general. Al Horford cans the free throw, 72-59.
Definitely getting his show,
6:40 left to go in the third. Bam Adebayo. We'll see if he's been relatively silent here right now for Miami in this second half. He was excellent in the first. Adebayo leaves it for Lowry. Back to Adebayo. Beautiful pass. Tucker in the corner. Air ball. But it was last touched by the Celtics, unless it's going the other way. Kyle Lowry thinks it may not be staying the way it's gestured, and this is Celtics ball. Tatum crosses left to right across the timeline. The Celtics in the home white piping, the Miami Heat in the black and red. Horford has this at the right wing corner. Gives it to Tatum as we got the Let's Go Celtics chant going on at TD Garden. Tatum, pass, Smart, blow by, shoots the left wing three, cans it! Marcus Smart with a big time three.
He's back.
He is back. It's down to 10. Boston, you got to know they have some jubilation. They were down by as much as 24. Timeout Spoelstra and the Miami Heat as we take a break. We have a game here, Nick, now. So, for all intents and purposes of the things that we like to talk about as far as the coaching speak about, when to cut things down and what to do and what to look for, it just comes down to me as we're, 6:04 left in the third, another fourth quarter to go. It's, as you've said, winning time. Jimmy Butler is not on the floor. Celtics in this game, we're not talking about a 24-point deficit anymore. We're talking about 10. We're talking about a game that's winnable and in striking distance.
Yep, right now, I'm looking at this like 18 minutes ago. We're down by 10. By 12 minutes, I want it at 5. By 4 minutes, I want it at 2. That's how you look at it if you want to be a winning coach. That's Greg Popovich 101. Look at your time, see what you have left. So let's have a chance here. Big shot there by Smart. I think that might be a big motivation for them and encouragement for them to win this game out. Remember, this is a young team. They need a reason to win. That might be what they need.
Yeah, if he makes any more of those shots, that leaves me to think, again, this was a little bit before my time. Again, I know I'm a little bit older at 35, but when you think about the original IT with the ankle, if Marcus Smart can will himself into the fourth quarter and start knocking down some shots, and the Celtics find their way, that would be one hell of a turnaround as far as a game story. Because again, like you said, this game is in striking distance. Any sort of motivation, any sort of extra tactic that you can use to get a young team back in the game, I think that's a great point by you. Plenty of time left. We'll see what happens here for the Celtics. So let me give you some stats. It is 9 of 23 from three-point range, the Miami Heat, and 5 of 16 for the Celtics. The Celtics have really bumped up that shooting percentage, though. It was 47% for Miami, 30 of 63. Boston, 20 of 43. So offensive rebounding in general, shot attempts, steals. I think the steals, especially the turnovers there against the Celtics from the very beginning of the contest, gave the Heat a few extra opportunities. But even with all that, you would take that, considering 20 extra shot attempts for Miami and Boston's only down 10. I don't think we could have really predicted that, considering maybe about not even 10 minutes to go in a game time, we were down 24. So I don't really see anything else that really sticks out at me here. 38 points in the paint to 22. That was mostly in the first half for Bam Adebayo. Not much really to speak of in the second. Let me give you one other sports score here that we got going on. This is the one other hockey game. Colorado has taken a 3-2 lead on the St. Louis Blues. This is game 3, and we will keep you abreast of that when that ends as well. So that game might end before this one does. But again, our game takes precedent here as Marcus Smart has returned to the floor. He's just canned a 3. He might have had a little bit of an ankle sprain. Definitely got Oladipo on that blow-by. Again, I thought Oladipo was a much better defender going into the college part of it. I lost Nick here a little bit. We'll pick him back up. We'll throw him in there as well. So once I see him in there, we will get that going. This is now Bam Adebayo, taller hero. Screen there for Adebayo. Now Hero still got this one. Lowry gives it back to Hero. Hero trying to get around Horford. Leaves it for Kyle Lowry. Lowry back to Hero. Shot clock expiring. Off the mark and saved there by Jaylen Brown. Jimmy Butler, again, is not going to return. And a pass just inconceivably thrown away there by the Boston Celtics. A little bit of a missed opportunity. Making sure my feet and everything else is good on that side. So, again, I just lost Nick. If I get him back in there, we will throw him back in there. Taller Hero with Smart. He's got it at the Leprechaun. 5:15 left to go in the third quarter. Lowry now trying to work on Tatum, wants to back it all the way out. Now he gets a screen there from PJ Tucker, a switch there on Horford. Lowry falling away from 18. Tough shot. Hits it right in Horford's face as the lead is back to 12. 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Marcus Smart, who has just returned, he gets it across the timeline left to right. And another turnover here. This is Jaylen Brown. So now Hero takes it across the timeline. Hero gives it to Lowry. Lowry gets a screen there from Bam Adebayo, been relatively quiet here in the second half. Adebayo almost lost it, but Grant Williams didn't turn his head around to swipe at it. Screen for Lowry, jump shot off the back iron to the rim, and rebounded there by Grant Williams. Williams now gives this one to Brown. Nice crossover, blow by. Leaves it for Horford. Hits the three! Celtics back within single digits. 74-65. Horford's got 20. 3 of 4 from three-point range. Hero lost it there, but he just picks it right back up as nobody wanted to play that one. Smart trying to stay in front. Adebayo, screen. He could have lobbed it there for Adebayo. And one for Bam. Finally, an inside basket there for Bam Adebayo as he scored it over Smart. And the Miami Heat go back up by double digits, 76-65. So this has been a back and forth now ever since the second half when it was pretty much all Heat. The Celtics came back with a spirited three-point effort, and Bam Adebayo with the flawless pearly whites lays it right in over the smaller guard under Marcus Smart. 16 points, usually averaging the series about 6 of 10. He's got 22 on 11 of 16. So a very, very strong effort there. Bam, still spinning for the and one opportunity with the pumpkin. He lets this one go. He completes it. It's a smooth-looking free throw there. It is 77-65 now. 3:50 left to go in the third quarter. John out here with you from TD Garden in Boston. I was joined by my partner in crime, Nick Edwards. Again, if he jumps back in, I will throw him back in for the color side of it. I appreciate all of his contributions today. Brown kisses it from 12 feet. It is now 77-67 as Boston is back within 10. 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. Brown has 23. Horford's got a quiet 20. He's been surging here in this second half. Marcus Smart trying to battle around that screen. Hero lets an unbelievably difficult mid go from 14. He missed it. Horford now. The Smart inside of Horford. I think he bounced it off a Miami player. Last touch kickball violation. It's going to stay here with the Celtics. Again, anyone joining on the live streaming side of things, I appreciate it for YouTube. Anyone that's checked in throughout the Colorcast side of it, I appreciate it, guys, as well. This is Smart now. He was the trigger man. Now for Tatum, left wing side. Tatum, Smart, fake the three, leaves it for Horford. Horford's pass almost gets deflected by Hero. Bounce inside. Horford hook, missed it. Saved by Grant Williams, swatted, picked up by Jaylen Brown. He didn't know if the shot clock reset, at least that's what I think. And now the Heat turn it over. Tatum and Williams pressured PJ Tucker going out of bounds. And when Grant Williams reached for the basketball, PJ Tucker angrily pushed his hands aside and threw a push out on the other side. Again, no Jimmy Butler for the rest of the game. Marcus Smart has come back in from the sprain. 77-67. Bounce pass. Deflected too hard and a take foul there by Grant Williams. 2:45 left to go in the third quarter. This is game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. John out here with you from TD Garden in Boston. It was a laugher pretty much in the first 2 games. Your score lines were 118-107 Miami and 127-102 Boston. And right now it is a 10-point lead for the Miami Heat. They were up by as many as 24. Chance for Oladipo, and he's going to get an and one opportunity there as he took the contact. He got it against Grant Williams. He laid it right in. 79-67. So the guard from IU is going to get a chance to go to the line for an and one opportunity, and that was a gorgeous make there for Victor Oladipo. It's nice to see him battle through the injuries and just get back on the court and be able to play some meaningful basketball. Had a lot of other knee and leg issues and things like that. Oladipo Free throw is up and good. It is 80-67 Miami with the lead with 2:30 left to go in the third quarter as the clock is finally started because Marcus Smart didn't let that ball roll anymore. 15 seconds to go in the third quarter shot clock with 2:26 left to go in the game clock. Ball is going to stay with the Boston Celtics right now. So let me give you your score by quarters. It was all Miami, 39-18, and then it was 29-23 Boston and 20-18 Boston. Williams able to save it before he crossed the time on the backcourt. Smart, Horford, Brown now, right wing side, he's contested. Gotta let it go! Knocks down the three from the right wing, Jaylen Brown. 2 minutes left to go in the third. 26 points for Jaylen Brown, 1 of 4 shooting threes. Big time for the first time there as he knocks it down from three. 80-70 now. Oladipo, no offensive foul charge there on Tatum. As that could have been one there. Tatum, I didn't think he had to sell that one. He got taken down pretty hard, but it was a basket there for Hero. 6 points on 3 of 12 shooting. Marcus Smart, screen there from Grant Williams. Tatum, right wing three, off the mark. He had a really good look at it from the double screen set by Horford. Bam Adebayo crosses the leprechaun, leaves it now. Right to left go the Heat. Hero inside the lane. PJ Tucker's all alone, left wing side. Big time three for the Miami Heat as PJ Tucker answers. 85-70 now. 105 left to go in the third. This is Horford. Williams gets knocked away. Was this last off Jason Tatum was the question. This may stay with the Celtics here with 1:07 left to go in the third. PJ Tucker, again, that savvy veteran that's just been there so many times. He's came in with a big three in the last possession, and that's why we sit at 85-70. Tatum should be the trigger man right now with 1:07 left to go in the third quarter. It is 85-70. Boston has made a big press to just get this back within the score line. They were as close as 9 and down by as many as recently 24. Smart. Bounce pass, another kickball, so it's going to stay with the Celtics. And we're going to reset this again and do this one more time. So for the first time for me, I want to say this from watching Miami on the ColorCast side and the playoff side. I really like the game plan, and everything else, again, is intensified by having a big lead. But the switching and defense that Miami has played has been very impressive. Brown, let's go for the three. Saved there by Smart, puts it in. The littlest man on the floor on the offensive glass, and makes it 85-72 now as Boston's still trying to cut into the deficit. 12 points for Smart on 4 of 8 shooting, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. This is a chance here for Hero. Cross court. Gabe Vincent missed it all. Picked up now by Smart. He leaves it for Brown. Brown, spin. Tries to get down the lane, falls to the floor. I think we're going to have a jump ball. Contact all over between Vincent and Bam Adebayo. 31.6 left to go in the third quarter. 85-72 your score. Brown with a spin there on Victor Oladipo. He ran into Oladipo's knees. He lost the ball, fell down, and Oladipo was immediately trying to tie that up. So we're going to have a jump ball called. And this is just going to be a critical possession here as far as what's going to happen for Boston to be able to try to cut into that lead ever more. Again, this has been one of those situations throughout the game where Boston has been able to play catch-up. Brown saved it, but I don't know if this went back to Boston or Miami as this kind of spun all the way around. 26.8 left to go in the third. Again, it was a tip up there between Oladipo and Brown. Brown had it. Hero got his hand in there. And then this one all the way toward the other side of Martin and Tatum. So this is going to stay with Tyler Hero as the trigger man. Victor Oladipo has had some decent minutes off the bench since coming in from the injured Jimmy Butler. The one stat you'd want to point at, 15 steals for Miami, just 1 for Boston, and 23 points off turnovers to Boston's 4. Their defense has been excellent. Shot clock, just about 3 seconds difference. Hero, jump stop. Nice floater there from the left wing side from about 5 feet. About 7 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Brown lets the three go. It rattles in and out. Adebayo's got time. This is going to count. And it goes off the backboard. So at the end of three, it's 87-72, Miami with the edge. We'll see if Boston can find their way back into it when we start the fourth. Come right back.
To be clear, we have never been accused of being flashy, sexy, or thin. We've definitely not there.
So, Patrick, this game has been a little bit back and forth. I know you've been watching, listening off and on. Do you have any thoughts or processes as far as the 4 teams that are left and who can win an NBA title? Some of the players that you like, any things that you're looking in? I think I might have lost Nick a little bit here, so if he does jump back in, I'll give him the courtesy of taking that spot back. So the third quarter score was even at 25 apiece.
In the NBA playoffs, anything can happen. 1 minute you're feeling great about a bet, and you hear that voice in your head.
Get out while it's still good, man. You don't end up looking like a knucklehead. That'd be terrible.
FanDuel, the ball's in your court. Hit cash out, you tell that voice in your head to be
You
quiet.
hungry? Hey, Chuck. Are you getting hungry? I'm getting hungry. I think we're getting hungry. I could do some cupcakes, some
Sign up now and get a risk-free bet of $2,000. FanDuel, official sportsbook of the NBA. Caroline Clipper, they are in your community for your story.
So there is a few stats here. I'm just throwing these in here as far as the game story notes. So when you're looking at reasons why Miami is ahead, just even in a vacuum here without even looking at the game, it's 15 steals for Miami, 1 for the Celtics. It is 18 turnovers for the Celtics, just 4 for Miami. So they've taken care of the ball and they've created turnovers. And they have a 15-6 edge on fast break points. So even in a vacuum, it's one of those times where the critical stats, they jump off the page. And Miami, they're sitting pretty right now as we're going to get set to begin the fourth quarter here momentarily, whereas Miami has an 87-72 edge, and they're looking to go up 2-1 in this 7-game series of an Eastern Conference final. So the NHL side, I want to do this while we're in a break. So it is still 3-2 Colorado. It was 2 goals for the Avalanche in the second period, and most of them were late. This was after the latter half. It was 13:38 Nazem Kadri from Mikko Rantanen and Kale McCarr. Trey Lehkonen, nice pickup there from the Montreal Canadiens from Nazem Kadri at 17:15, and Ryan O'Reilly just before the second period expired, 30 seconds left to go, from Pavel Buchnevich and Nick Leddy. 3-2, 8:33 left to go in that third period. So let's get back into this actual action here in the fourth quarter between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. The Heat enjoying an 87-72 lead. Derek White leaves it for Tatum. Tatum, top of the key three, bounces all the way around the rim and out. And rebounded there by Bam Adebayo. Right to left across the leprechaun goes Bam. Bam has had a lot of ball handling here for our Expulsor squad, and he's been very, very solid at that. Very, very clean offensive game for the Celtics, and that's really what I like to see. Clean offense, very strong defense there, very good old school. Series of pump fakes there for Bam. He got the space and sprayed the shot from 14 right in Tice's eyes. So 89-72, Miami with the lead. Tatum leaves it for Smart. Smart with the up and under, trying to get it to Tice. He's going to draw the foul. He tried to finish it out of midair, but he was taking contact as he got tripped falling down. So it should be 2 free throws here for Daniel Tice. Again, Daniel Tice was a really good pickup there once more for the Celtics. If they're coming back from the Houston Rockets, he just seems to solidify anything between the power forward or the center spot of what you need. He's a guy that can stretch the floor. He can hit you mid-range, but he's one of those ones that needs to be able to battle on the glass. As the Celtics miss another piece of lettuce at the line, they miss another free throw. So you can't have that at this point in the game. As we sit still at 89-73, is really just underway here in the fourth quarter. They're doing a very long look as Tice gets set for the second free throw. This one is up and good. 89-73 now your score. About 11 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Gabe Vincent. Miami's just 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Boston is 18 for 24, so they've left some points here. In terms of this huge deficit, this may not matter. Again, this has been cut into several times. Again, as we're just sitting at about 15 points right now, but in the sense of it, this was 24. So Boston has just been chasing a rabbit that they could never catch in this game right now. And we'll see if that continues to be the case. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, left wing three, missed it all. No foul call. He tried to draw that one in the corner. Now this is Derek White. Derek White with a series of moves. Tries to get in off the jump stop. Leaves it there for Smart. Top of the key three. Rainbow off the backboard and out. Rebounded and skied by Bam as he grabs the pumpkin. Right to left goes Bam. The center's done a lot of ball handling, as I've said. Gabe Vincent draws an offensive foul. He used that off arm. I think that was good selling there by Daniel Tice. But be that as it may, that was a push-off and a turnover there on Miami. That was just their fifth. And again, he had Tyson in other regions there as he pushed him off. 10-15 left to go in the fourth. John out here with you from the TD Garden, Boston. This is Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Open look and red carpet lay-in there for Marcus Smart. Makes it 89-75 as we're down to 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart been pretty good since returning from injury. 14 points on 5 of 10, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jimmy Butler will not return with the knee soreness. Again, he's been playing all world in the first 2 games. So whether or not Game 4, when that happens on Monday night, if Jimmy Butler will be available, that'll be remain to be seen. But especially you would think by Game 5 by FTX. Depending on what happens in this series, if Miami goes up 2-1, I wouldn't speculate and say that Jimmy Butler wouldn't play at all, but you'd have a much better luxury if Miami would take this Game 3. They've got a 42-26 edge in points in the paint. Bam Adebayo did the majority of his work in the first half. Strauss, air ball, saved by Tice. And now this goes to Smart. He leaves it there for Grant Williams. Tatum is waiting on the right wing side. White has it at the left. Gives it to Grant. Grant is sitting in the corner. Tatum comes all the way over. Double show and go, and just an open turnover there. This is a chance for Vincent. Offensive foul. The basket will not count. He used the push-off there. Smart was able to draw the body there. The free throw line extended. Turnover there on the Miami Heat. So it's still 89-75, but 9:34 left to go in the fourth quarter. John out here with you from the TD Garden, Boston. Absolutely critical game here for both teams, but I would think even more so for the Boston Celtics at home. It was an elbow right into the chops of Marcus Smart. I don't mind the call there in the sense of it, but again, Marcus Smart, no blood, but he got hit right in the teeth up toward the right side of the face. Brown gets the push off against Vincent, goes down the lane, and they're going to call a blocking foul. This one is going to go against Dwayne Dedmon. And now this could be a technical foul on Gabe Vincent as he doesn't believe the call. So this could be a big swing here for the Boston Celtics to be able to get a point at the free throw line and then also get the ball back. So Brown, he did get the push off there clean on Vincent, and he went down, and Dedmon didn't have his feet set by the time there was some contact there. So this is Tatum at the free throw line. He knocks it down, so he makes the technical one. It's 89-76. 9:21 left to go in the fourth. Boston's still back with the ball right now. So as we get set back into the action, it's going to be the trigger man here for Boston. 89-76, the score. This is going to be Brown. at the line now officially. The first one is up and good. He's still got one more coming. So it was a technical free throw, and then the two foul shots offsetting here for Brown, and that's what it's sitting at right now. So Brown at the line trying to go make it a 3-for-3 trip. He can't do it. He's already missed 4 of those. Jaylen Brown has not been particularly sharp from the line, and he's got to be a lot better here. Vincent, right to left across the Leprechaun. Leaves it for Hero. Top of the key gets a switch on Tice, and Strus goes back to Hero. Hero lets it go from 40, and Brown gets the rebound there. Tatum looking to push, half spin, tries to probe inside, pass there to White, bounce pass to Tatum. Grant Williams, right wing 3. Bottoms for Grant Williams. It's now a 9-point deficit for Boston. And Eric Spoelstra wants a timeout. 8:52 left to go in the fourth quarter. When we come back, we're going to call the late fourth quarter action. Boston trying once more to go on a surge. It's now 89-80. Stick with me.
This Friday, don't miss the summer phenomenon with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a masterful adrenaline rush. See on the biggest screen possible. Ooh, that looks spicy. Yeah. Little kick, little zing, little spice, little razzmatazz. Get one free sandwich with a $12 burger on the can. Yeah, I figure they can do it. A lot of people assume NBA players can reach anything, just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. The State Farm has rates to fit any budget. Here you go. Thanks, Sunquo. Here's your mustard. Thanks, Lamar. Want to reach anything else? No. Because I can reach it. The surprisingly great rates to fit any budget, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. All it takes to get a quote today. New truly Margarita style hard seltzer.
Not everything online is real. But a CarMax online offer really is.
With 40 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar, Muscle Milk Pro helps build muscle. But it takes heart to build strength. So when there's a new challenge to conquer, take a deep breath and own your strength.
The Google Pixel 6 for all the Nuts fans. Surface fans who became Nuts fans. Fans who want to get rid of photobomb fans. Wolfbomb fans. Top Shop fans. All the Nuts fans.
Are you taking a photo of us?
Yeah. For that once in a lifetime shot. Fans seeing the post for the first time. There are so many ways to love the NBA. In the Pixel 6, you build it all. The Western Conference Finals, the NBA Special from the West, a showdown to see who will show out. Milwaukee is going to prove that they're gold-blooded. Mavs of Luka's magic. You can translate it to a trophy. Who can raise a bank and head to the finals to wrap them up? Milwaukee, Mavs, Milwaukee. Bringing stock together, stock goes up. Nobody watch. Someone else may be boxing that brand. Everybody else go limited to one side. You get out running, you see how easy it is. You get out running. You got to create leads. Down and break free. You can't be going. Keep earning more money. How can you go make money? Your competitive teams, your competitive coaches. With 852 remaining still a long way to go. Heat trying to hold on.
So it's Heat possession right now, about 8:45 left to go in the contest. Miami up by as many as 24. Now their lead is cut to 9 as the Let's Go Celtics chant, defense chant is happening at TD Garden in Boston. Spin by Adebayo, left wing side, trying to work on Grant Williams. Knocked away. but this is going to be a foul against the Boston Celtics. Udoka and Grant Williams, I think, might look to challenge this one. So ball was put down. A little bit of contact there off the spin. He might have got all ball there was Grant Williams. I feel from looking at this look there, he may want to challenge this one. I think the Celtics may be getting a clean, definitive look at it. Again, we're going to go to a commercial break, and then I will let you know what happens here with the challenge. Ooh.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in the Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your lifestyle.
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone.
It's a great trade.
Life changing. Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T. The Red Rangers are back.
Oh.
Death is coming for us all, kid. Only on Disney Plus. I got my flavor in St. Louis. Barbecue heat like nowhere else. And now, I'm bringing that flavor to you. Hope you like it hot. Introducing Rebels, flaming hot barbecue on you.
So as we check back in, I'm still waiting for this actual call. So the NBA is definitely getting all their ad revenue in at this point. Let me look. It is 4-2. Colorado is going to be taking a 2-1 advantage. So they're taking the first game at Enterprise after the series split at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. So right now was an empty netter from Gabe Landeskog at the 17:52 mark. This is from Mika Rotten and Nathan McKinnon as we've come in there from that side of things. And now they've just scored again with Arturi Lehkonen with another empty netter at 19:02. So that game is going to be over. The Colorado Avalanche will take a 2-1 series lead against the St. Louis Blues. So it's going to be important that they try to finish that one up. We're coming back in from commercial break now in terms of our game as far as the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. There was a challenge by Ime Udoka for all ball there on Bam Adebayo off the knockaway, and we'll see if this ends up going back to the Boston Celtics with about 6:04 left to go in the third. Or let's see, the fourth, my fault. The box score is updating here on the ESPN side. So we are in the middle of the fourth quarter action for sure right now. The color casting has it at 8:28. I got 8:31 myself, so I know that's always a little bit ahead of mine. So the call is officially overturned as we get back into the official call here. So it's Horford and Bam Adebayo to tip this thing up. It's currently an 89-80 score. Again, Miami was up by as many as 24 points. Celtics and Grant Williams save it there. So now they're going to go left to right in the home white piping. The Miami Heat are in the black and red. The Celtics will be attacking left to right in these final 8 minutes and 15 seconds, unless we have overtime. Tatum falling away from 16, got air. Williams trying to wrestle Oladipo for the ball. We might have another jump ball. So in terms of all that challenge and that long, lengthy wait, we might have some more of that with 6 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Zach, I appreciate the listen, my friend, right now. It's a game I wouldn't say that was necessarily close for the longest time, but Boston has made it one. That the definitive news was there was no Jimmy Butler from the rest of the second half, and Marcus Smart did come back in from a sprain. He's been pretty good, although they've done a lot of switching in Miami and Eric Spoelstra. And now Grant Williams will be kicked out of this jump ball. This looks more like a timeout situation here for what the hell is going on right now. Now there's another stoppage as you see between Jeff Van Gundy and all that. He's even saying something. Bam Adebayo is now talking to the ref. Are they trying to tape up Grant Williams is the question. We've not really had much action here within the last about 10 minutes with all these commercials and these challenges. Again, we could have probably started and finished another first period of the Stanley Cup playoffs by the time any of this stuff's been going on right now. So if there's one reason why people have some complaints on the outside about the NBA, it is reasons of that such as this. So the Celtics, when we do finally get back in the action, what can be said is they have a chance now as it's now back to 9. Again, Tatum averages about 28 in the playoffs. He's got 10 on 3 of 14 shooting. So jump ball one more time. Grant Williams lost it. Another double there for Strus, and now Lowry finds it. So Lowry has come back in from the players' bench probably a few minutes ago as well. He's battling a little bit of a leg injury, but he's out there right now. But Victor Oladipo is getting the bulk of the minutes, though, because Jimmy Butler will not return. Lowry, shot clock down to 5, about 7:45 left to go in the fourth. Lowry missed it all, rebounded there by Al Horford. So the Celtics can cut into this 9-point deficit slowly. Left right across the timeline is Derek White. He gives this one to Tatum toward the right wing. He's trying to spin on Strus. Double team. Horford's left all over the left wing corner. And it was saved there by P.J. Tucker and give it to Kyle Lowry. Lights left across the timeline now. Miami is 10 of 32 shooting threes. Boston is 8 of 25. So both teams really have not been as sharp as you would like. Pocket pass. Adebayo with a slam. 91-81. A great look there for Strauss as Adebayo soared in the air and threw it down. Most of his numbers from a sparkling first half, 27 points, 13 of 20 shooting, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's been absolutely terrific. Derek White. Now to Brown. Left wing side, lost it. Nice strip by Oladipo. There's that college defense you're looking for. Head down. There's that last touch by Oladipo is the question. That's what Horford believes. Miami's obviously going to believe the opposite. 20 turnovers for the Boston Celtics. 7 for the Miami Heat. 25 points off turnovers for Miami and just 7 for Boston. Looks like it's going to stay here with Miami as Victor Oladipo was trying to go one-on-one. The ball got knocked away, but it's still Miami possession. Bam Adebayo now. Going to leave this one for Oladipo. Series of moves, gets a screen. He needs some help now as Lowry's got over 5 to go on the shot clock. Lowry trying to go baseline. Turns it over. Picked up by P.J. Tucker. And they score it. Somehow the Celtics, 2 of them right there, all they had to do was take a fingernail to reach for the ball. They did not. P.J. Tucker alertly, Johnny on the spot, puts the basket in. 13 on 5 and 9 is P.J. Tucker. 93-80 now your score. Smart goes down the lane, lays it in over the trees. Scores it over Strus. 93-82 now. 6:10 left to go in the fourth quarter action. 93-82 your favorite score for Miami Heat. Trying to take a 2-1 series lead and steal a game on the road in TD Garden in Boston. They've looked good throughout this entire contest, even when the lead has dwindled down. Their defense has stood the test of time throughout the whole game. Lowry inside to Adebayo. It's Adebayo versus Smart. Let's see if Smart can draw the offensive foul. And now they do. This is Marcus Smart. He took that contact. He already had some issue there with the ankle and all of that. And he drew the foul. So big-time defense there for Smart. He's already playing banged up. He accepted the challenge there. And I would say I don't think that's much of a sell. I think that's just great defense there for Smart to be able to just play that one. Good job there for Boston. Boston needs points now, though. Down to 5:30 left to go in the fourth. Tatum. Oladipo strips it. It's a 2-on-1. Strus blocked by Brown. Here's a chance for Williams for three. Off the mark. And Tatum is holding a shoulder. Play is still live. Count the basket and the foul. But most importantly now, what's going on with Jason Tatum? When I get a chance to look at that as far as a replay, we'll give you something definitive. Tatum is down. I thought the whistle would have been blown, but considering it was in the offensive end when that happened, the refs gave the luxury there, and Tatum is just keeping his eyes closed and holding on that shoulder. I wonder if something popped on his socket right now. And they're going to immediate commercial. We'll get this sorted when we come back.
Peace of mind, such a big, beautiful idea. But for us at Booking.com, this means free cancellation on most bookings. It's a bit functional, but we're glad you be functional, so you can be free. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
It's been an honor to deliver you your new CarMax car.
Oh, appreciate it.
No,
Probably should have looked. Watch out for the tulips. Jason Tatum getting out.
So before we get into the game action right now, I want to get this across. Tatum looked like he injured the shoulder here for Boston. He was just getting up now. He was down for about a good 5 minutes. The basket on the other end is it looks like the shoulder was locked in there with Oladipo, and he had nowhere to go. So I don't know if it's just a sprain or anything else, but he was down for about 5 minutes. It was a beautiful sequence on the other end that allowed Jaylen Brown to be able to get a block. And then because the play was live in the own end, the Boston Celtics were able to get a basket courtesy of Brown. As now they show Tatum going into the players' room right now to be able to get looked at. So we'll see if he does return. Again, the ColorCast side of things has 5:11 left to go on the game clock right now. Peyton Pritchard will check in now that Tatum is out. Again, just getting entangled there with Victor Oladipo. It's one of those situations where things happen right now. But Jaylen Brown at the line, he's got to knock down some free throws, so he completes the and one. It is now 93-85. Boston was down by as many as 24. Victor Oladipo has been very, very good off the bench. 4 steals right now with the active defense there because Jimmy Butler with the knee injury will not return in this game at least. For the rest of the status, who knows? Oladipo missed it all, and now Brown has a chance with the Celtics as they go slowly left right across the timeline. See what they can do. Jump stop. Brown lays it in. 93-87. Boston back within closer distance here. It is 6, a 7-0 run in the last minute 36, and another timeout for Eric Spoelstra. Boston trying to stave off a 24-point deficit and take a 2-1 series lead. And upon second look, Brown might have got away with a crab dribble that hit Lowry right in the dome. Come right back. We're going to call more fourth quarter action. Ad revenue has to continue here on the ABC side. Hey guys, I appreciate you coming in and out here. It's a 93-87 score now. Again, if we figure out anything, this is just me on the call now for the rest of it. If we figure out anything as far as Jason Tatum as well, we'll let you know. So again, you saw from the first half, no Jimmy Butler. Marcus Smart came back from injury. Now Tatum just exited about a minute ago. Play was live after the Brown block. He got the and one, and because the play was on that side, it was continued to go there. And we'll see what happens with Tatum as far as maybe even the rest of this game if it goes to overtime, but at least for game 4 especially. The hockey final, the one that we had today, just one game, 3 games tomorrow. Colorado takes a 2-1 series advantage with a 5-2 win, goals late, a couple of empty netters for the Avalanche, makes it 5-2. As far as my upcoming schedule. It's going to be an off day Sunday with the fiance, and then I probably will get a hockey game in on Monday, maybe something Tuesday or Thursday for Battle of Alberta. So we come back in here right now for Lowry and Strus, as it is Heat ball. 8 seconds left to go in the shot clock. Turned over by Lowry. So Boston now. It is now 93-87. They've been steadily trying to get back into this. This is Smart. Smart wants Brown to get into a specific spot on the floor to get this isolation set up here at least. Now to Brown. Almost lost it. Goes down the lane. Lays it in. Jaylen Brown makes it a 4-point game. 93-89. 4:05 left to go in the fourth. He has been terrific in this entire game. 34 points, 12-17, 9-0 run for Boston. And Tatum finding his way back into the bench, at least. Adebayo, spin, PJ Tucker, missed the buddy! Horford's got the rebound. There was nobody underneath the basket to guard Tucker. The crowd is alive and exploding at TD Garden. Marcus Smart gives it for Brown. Brown falls down, draws the foul. 2 timeouts left on both sides for Miami and Boston. This is Boston ball. All of a sudden, this game has gotten way too close for Miami, too close for comfort. When I had Nick in here, as far as some of the stuff, the Boston side of things, for some color aspects of it, we were talking about a 24-point deficit. We were talking about just trying to save face, making some sequential cuts. Because the NBA, they always say prototypically is a game of runs. But just trying to save face and figure it out. And now they're back within 4. This is a game to win within the last 3:30. Smart. Pocket pass. Picked up by Miami, but there's a battle on the floor as Tatum has just checked in. So if there was a little bit of injury there on that shoulder, that one has to really sting as he had to reach out for that. But again, Miami, if they're going to hold on to this win, it's so many steals on the other side of things that have been able to keep it in that spot and situation with points off turnovers. But Boston, to their credit, has turned this around. So it's Tatum on the jump ball. He wins it to Horford. Horford post position blocked by Bam Adebayo expertly there. So he forced it quickly. Bam Adebayo said no, and he returned the mail back. Lowry has it at the Celtics logo. Gives it inside to Bam from about 16 feet. He's trying to spin off Horford now, but elects to give it back to Strus, and a foul is going to be called against Jason Tatum. That's his 4th. 3:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden and inconceivably, it is a 4-point game in between Miami and Boston. Tatum, he took some contact in that same shoulder that was hurting a little bit in between Bam Adebayo on that screen. So it seems like anytime you're having an injury, it always feels like you're going to get hit in those same spots as long as you're on the floor or doing whatever you're doing. Strus, the trigger man to Adebayo. Lowry trying to get around Smart with the help of the screen. Lowry falls down, keeps the dribble alive. Horford's on now. 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Lowry gets the separation from Horford off the front of the rim. Big Al's got the rebound. Boston down 4, trying to cut into it ever more. Tatum, the Smart. Smart now to Brown. Brown for 3. It's good! Jaylen Brown makes it a 1-point game. 12-0 Boston run. 2:25 left to go in the fourth. My goodness, what a shot for Jaylen Brown. Oladipo now. He's on the right side. And I think it's going to stay here with Miami as the foul is going to go against Marcus Smart. What a shot from Jaylen Brown. He got it just before the Oladipo contest off of a beautiful screen set by Big Al. It's a 1-point game. Heat ball. 2:15 left to go. Strus for 3. Cans it. Max Strus with a big-time three-pointer. 96-92. 2:05 left to go in the fourth. Back-to-back three-pointers. As Strus is now 4 of 7. Smart has it at the top of the key. Switch up now. This is Strus. Smart needs some help. Lost the dribble. Shot clock down to 5. Gives it to Brown. Brown down to 2. Extra pass. And I think we're going to get a shot clock violation before anything else. Turnover, Celtics, a critical one at that. 1:47 left to go in the fourth quarter of all of a sudden a scintillating game between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, down by as many as 24. Boston's cut it within 4, but those 22 turnovers and the multitude of steals that Miami's had, that's going to rue the day there, because you can lose it at the beginning. And it's certainly the case. Strus, series of moves, back to Adebayo. Adebayo takes the pump fake, tries to draw the ball, hits the shot. Bam, Adebayo. Ridiculous basket making there. 98-92. Bam Adebayo with 29 and 10 rebounds. 14 of 21. Tatum, pocket pass, Williams, bodies on the floor. Yet another turnover here by the Celtics. And this might be a take foul to stop that fast break. This is just not what you want to see if you're Boston. When you have an opportunity, and we've said this as many times, down by as many as 24, cut it to 10, cut it to 4, trying to get within 2. You just have those careless turnovers within those last couple of minutes now. 25 turnovers for the Boston Celtics. I understand that Miami has caused all kinds of chaos with steals, but 29 points on turnovers, 23 turnovers for the Celtics. That's a big reason why the scoreboard is what it is. Sometimes the stats don't lie. So PJ Tucker now has a chance for Miami to hit the century mark, and they've survived this Boston run, it looks like. Again, we still have about 1:07 left to go when Boston will get the offensive possession for the free throws, give or take. But it is a good save face for Boston and for a good showing when they just were not ready to play. It seemed like, as my partner eloquently said before he had to take off here, that everyone else had their bags packed and still left in Miami with the exception of Jaylen Brown. So timeout, Ime Udoka. It's now 192, and we'll see what Boston can engineer. Down 8 with 1:07 left to go in the contest. Come right back. We're going to call the rest of the action here momentarily. Hey, I appreciate the likes, guys, very much. No problem at all. This is one of those situations where this game has gotten very, very close in the sense of what we probably didn't expect. But I think sometimes, like we said, the stat lines will tell you what they tell you sometimes. It doesn't necessarily fit. It fits the bill right now. 18 steals for the Miami Heat and 23 turnovers to 9. It was a relatively clean game on one side, not so much on the other. So that's probably going to, disignify the rest of the effort Boston put forth. But there's one thing you can definitely say here. You're saving face in the sense of going into game 4. Boston certainly was not ready to play. They were down by as many as 24. But you come back in there, you made an effort, you got up between 4. That's got to give you some kind of signification in the sense of, let's come back out when the series will start back up on Monday and figure it out. Find a way to split. You find a way to split on the road. Miami can find a way to split on the road. You've essentially done your job on both ends, and leave it at that. Back within the action now. Horford, Brown lets it go for 3. Off the top of the backboard, Grant Williams tried to save it. Brown runs over Grant Williams, and I think we're going to get a foul called on the floor that's going to go against Miami. So Boston will have another opportunity at this right now, as it's down under a minute left to go. It's 192, still your score. Williams trying to get the rebound. I don't know if maybe Bam Adebayo got a little bit of contact there on Grant. That's what they're calling there, but a little collateral damage there as Brown fell on top of the own guy and Grant Williams. But it will stay Celtics possession right now. There's about a minute left to go. Grant Williams, excellent from the free throw line in this playoffs, 82%. So he's been a little cold as far as getting the line, 2 for 2. But a critical time at that, you cannot miss any. And Jaylen Brown's already missed a few. Tatum's missed 1. So even with all the steals and turnovers and things that we talked about, some of the free throw misses have been a problem here for Boston. So you can look at it as Pat Riley looks on with the mask, but you can look at it in any situation here for Boston in terms of all the chances that they could have had in this game. And then there's a bunch of other stat lines in there that don't go in their favor. So 2 free throws made there by Grant Williams. Strus has 5 fouls. Oladipo now. He gets the ball. Celtics don't have to foul, but they're going to try to force a steal. They almost do. Adebayo, Strus, going to take his time. He leaves it for Adebayo now. Shot clock down to 10, and this is a take one against Smart. So if the Celtics were going to foul, like I said, they didn't need to earlier, they're going to have to probably get close to doing so now, as Oladipo is now in the bonus here for Miami, so he can kind of salt any comeback attempt that Boston is trying to make right now with 48 seconds left to go in this contest. Again, the ColorCast side of the feed is usually a little bit ahead of everybody else's. Oladipo missed the first, so he's going to try to make it a 7-point lead if he can split the pair. He's a 85% free throw shooter in the playoffs. Big time to miss one. He's got to make this one, though. Indiana guard. Second one is up and good. Splits the pair, makes it 101-94. Almost gets a steal, and now I do. Kyle Lowry, Strus lays it in. It turns into a 3-point play for Miami, and that's going to be all over there. That was the last thing that Boston could have ever wanted. They have to blow their last time out. Kyle Lowry, he kept his head up the whole way. He followed the inbounds. He stole it from Grant Williams. Marcus Smart might have took his eye off the ball. I can't help but think of that. Maybe they can say. I want to take another look at it, whether or not the dribble was caught out of bounds. But Lowry, expert steal to Strus, lays it right in. It was pretty much an and one of sorts as the free throw pair was split. Big time play there for the NBA champion Kyle Lowry. Gets it done. This should salt away anything here for Boston as they have to use the final timeout. Heads up play there, and there is a lot of TD Garden Boston fans heading to the exits early. It's 103-94 with about 42 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter of action. This has been a game that has some massive fluctuation as far as point totals and scoring. Again, Miami was up by as many as 24. Then Jimmy Butler went out after the first half with some knee soreness. It was Marcus Smart with a little bit of an ankle injury, and 19 steals was a franchise playoff record for the Miami Heat. What didn't they do correctly on defense? 19 steals, 33 points off turnovers, and by the way, only 9 turnovers themselves. Big reason why Miami in that defense, in that scheme, and the switching and everything else that they've done, they came out to play with a heady effort. And one for me, I love the defensive effort. Again, everybody loves the positionless three-point shooting. Brown for 3, hits it. It is 103-97. Boston needs an inbound steal or something else, and Miami can take their time out if they wish. Eric Spoelstra indeed elects to do so, as they still got one more remaining. But one of those situations where Miami has just brought that defensive attention to detail. And I've said this with my partner when he was in here about the first half. I know he had to lead the later half of it, so I'm here with you for the rest of it, and then we'll have the game story and coverage at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. But we're going to have all that together with the play-by-play and all of that in its entirety. It was one of those situations where, again, up by as many as 24, Boston made that spirited comeback, but that defense and that system and that movement, as Jaylen Brown has 40, he ties a playoff career high. He sets one, I should say, at 14 of 20 and 40 points. A lot of stats, a lot of situations to talk about in this game. But it sounds like if all things go to where they're supposed to right now, Miami will steal one on the road and take a 2-1 series lead with 40 seconds left to go, unless Boston can get a critical steal or a stop, and in certain situations that they've not been able to do. The only thing Boston's been able to do in this situation is sometimes get in their own way and throw some lazy passes. Yes, Miami has caused the extent and brunt of that damage, but there has been a lot of careless and unforced plays on the Celtics side of things to have the scoreline be where it could have been, where it was down by as many as 24 and now sitting at the 6-point deficit mark. So this is Miami ball with 40 seconds left to go in the contest. If Miami's smart, they can pass this one all the way through the backcourt if they wish to kill more time, or they can elect for something closer. They go inside toward the left baseline, left wing, and this might be one of those situations where the Celtics, it was awfully close. When we get a chance to get a definitive look at it, they're going to roll it Miami ball, so no one's going to need to take a look at it, but that was a dangerous pass. Let's set this up one more time. Inbound, Miami. Lob. All kinds of contact off ball. So this is away from the play. So this is going to be a free throw. And I want to believe this is for Miami. Let's get some clarification here. So off-ball foul. So this is definitely going against Boston because you can hear the chorus of boos. And it was off the ball against Smart and P.J. Tucker. It was a little bit of a hold by Marcus Smart to even stop him from getting to the ball. So this should be a free throw here for P.J. Tucker. He had no opportunity. It was a hug and hold. They were having an extended reunion there, was Marcus Smart and P.J. Tucker. So the refs are going back to the scorer's table to confirm everything else. So 2 free throws, bonus for Miami. So this is going to be P.J. Tucker going to the line, and Marcus Smart will exit permanently as he's fouled out. He's got 16 points. So I thought Marcus Smart played very, very well considering the injury and all of that. And there's just a series of situations here, as we've talked about many a time, where this could have been a game that went back and forth. And you give Boston a lot of credit in terms of being able to come back down 24 to get this within 6. It's going to look to be 7 or 8 now if Tucker can make some of these free throws here. But the rest of it, in terms of what's bad about basketball, is the parade and the time wasting and the commercials and all that to the heavy extent kind of cuts the flow. So it's a technical free throw first that was knocked down by Kyle Lowry. And now P.J. Tucker is going to have his turn at 2 free throws here for Miami to essentially just throw the salt in the wound and end this game permanently here, as Miami will take a 2-1 series lead. They steal the first one, Game 3 in Boston, TD Garden. It's going to be essentially very, very important now, not only for Boston. They've done their job in the checkbox as far as save and face, as far as being down by as much as they have, no doubt about that. But on the other side, it's a must-win Game 4 because the way Miami has played in terms of maybe not having some of all that superstar power. Who knows the situation with Jimmy Butler as we go forward. Again, Malika Andrews will probably have more of that sideline reporting for ABC, as ABC and ESPN of the Eastern Conference, and the Western Conference is held there by TNT side. Grant Williams, he's going to shoot it. He's going to knock it down. Was it a 2 or a 3? It was a 3. So Celtics have to foul, try to get a turnover here, or at least foul the worst free throw shooter. They're going to ooh! Oladipo fell pretty hard into the seats there. He bumped up no worse for wear, as it's going to be free throws here for Miami. Eric Spoelstra was looking on. He wasn't too happy with the contact that Oladipo took there. It was Williams with the body. Oladipo might have been trying to force a shot expertly to get some kind of look at a basket or a pass. It looks like a pass now upon second look. So it will be Miami to the line. And they're going to check to see now if this is going to be a flagrant. And again, maybe this might only matter in the sense of what would happen in the future throughout the series, because if you're getting multiple, you wouldn't be available for a game. But as far as everybody else in your broadcaster, John on here with you, trying to get some of this stuff moving forward here, you'd like to just see if all of this stuff move in a fashion, in a timely order, because this last minute, and I should say this last 5 minutes or so, feel like about 45 minutes. It's just taken a little too long. And this is one of those situations, just like we would say with baseball, as far as having a pitching clock next year, or some of these other times. You know, if you don't do some situations where people and the pace of play isn't improved, you're going to change your channel. It's just the way it is right now. And that's where it is right now, regardless of the score. So again, as Mike Green said, everything else should pretty much be in an orderly fashion, and we want to get this sped along right now. Still 24 seconds left to go, a little bit thereabouts, on the game clock and the shot clock. So Mike Breen is talking about something, and I don't know if everyone else would speak about this. Is there such a thing as a moral victory in a playoff game? If there is one and you believe it, it's Boston coming back from a 24-point deficit. But again, a loss is a loss, and that's the way that I construe it. So Oladipo, technical free throw is good. Is there going to be 2 technicals here? And a flagrant against Robert Williams? Yeah, Grant Williams is saying something here. Grant Williams might be getting tossed. They want to toss him at least. That's what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of conversation between Grant Williams and the referee is very, very animated with the eye bulge. Grant Williams needs to just get the hell out of there right now. He's got 6 fouls regardless, so he's going to be enjoying his time on the bench. 39 minutes, 10 points of action. This is mass substitutions here for the garbage time as Nick Stauskas will check in for Boston. And Victor Oladipo chewing on that gum. Let's speed it up, guys. Come on. Let's go. 24 seconds left. It is no foul here for Boston, trying to force a turnover. And now it's just going to be an automatic dunk. 109-100. Stauskas has it now. If I'm him, if I'm spitting up the bench, I'm casting a shot here, trying to get warm. Smart. Missed it. Stauskas. Come on, big fella. You got to shoot this ball. Knocks it down. That's what you got to do when you come off the bench there. You're not going to get much playing time. You got to let it go. So it's going to end 109-103. Miami takes this one, takes a 2-1 series lead. They've stole game 3 on the road at TD Garden, Boston. This is going to be John Ott signing off. 109-103 win for Miami. When we come back, I'll probably be on the official call back on Monday, probably come to a hockey game, and then maybe Tuesday or Thursday we'll get Battle of Alberta continued, as I will do color and Cooper Hopkins will handle the play-by-play. Have a good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you soon. Peace out.
After averaging 8 points through the first 2 games, you came out and erupted tonight. What made the difference for you offensively?
Thank you, boss. I appreciate you being in here, checking all this stuff out. I know the room and everything else isn't much to look at. Hopefully the boom mic and everything else will be going on as well as far as the Yeti mic. Hopefully we can try to do that sometime next week. There was some tornadoes and issues here in Michigan, which kind of made it a little bit of suspect. So stayed in the house, be able to call this game. I'll probably be back at least by Monday or Tuesday with a hockey call to finish off either Battle of Alberta, either Game 4 or Game 5 between Edmonton and Calgary. Maybe get an NBA playoff game in there as well. But as always, I appreciate it. And have the complete game story at that comment section at the top, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. So look out for that. And I always do a lot of these. So if you like this, it's pretty much just me having the play-by-play discussion. Sometimes I run colors, sometimes I run play-by-play. And just want to enjoy these games, and hopefully everybody has a good time. But I'm going to end the stream. Everybody have a good one. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.